All right, I'm going to hop down, but I just wanted to give you my toenail story. Then there it is. I'll never do it again, I promise.
Ray, are they still a mini pig?
Thanks, Ellie.
Like, did they
Thank you,
stay
Ray.
there? Or
Charlie.
did they get?
Oh,
Did they
thank
get
you,
rid?
Ray. And we
Ray, and you'll
appreciate it.
always have that. You'll always have that here. I want you to understand that. Like, my bone is not with you by any means, and I'm very proud of you. And
Hmm.
I had to witness what you went through, and now I'm seeing you transmute that experience
Yeah,
into 64
64 days.
days.
That's huge,
So,
Ray.
Yeah,
well done.
congrats.
Yeah, congrats, Ray. Let's go.
That's got to feel
Stay
pretty damn
still.
good. The fog's starting to lift, yeah? Hopefully. It's a good thing. It's a good place to be.
Oh, 64 days of sobriety. Oh, congratulations. I didn't know what we're congratulating. So I'm like, let me scroll up and see what we're talking about. That's awesome.
Yeah, Ray was a resident at Graceland, and
Oh,
she
goofy.
took charge of her mental health and recognizing what she needed, and has just done incredible over the last 64 days. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Period. We
And
love
right,
that.
it comes down to you, right? And maybe some of those people had, because I look at this as like, if you've been trying to do it, for 5 times, 6 times, 8 times, I can see like how some people would look and not have faith, right? But the
No,
important thing
yeah,
is like you had
totally.
faith in yourself. So I'm stoked for you.
Yeah,
So
well,
Thank
thank
you,
you
stoked for
so
you.
Ray.
much. And
What you
like,
guys?
I totally understand where they were all coming from. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Coming from Graceland, like I understand. Like they've heard every story. People just want to leave. I get it. But I had a mental breakdown 3 years ago, and I was really, really close to that happening again, to the point where I forgot my own safe word. Like that's how out of it I was. That like I was lucky that I had somebody that I stay with in Vegas that would come and get me immediately. And I went, as soon as we crossed into the Nevada line, I went straight into a mental hospital. Like, because I knew I was at that breaking point of where I was going to lose my grip on reality and start to really trip out. And I've had my meds adjusted, my eye twitch is gone now. Like, the fog is lifting. It's still like a day-to-day thing. Every day gets better. Not every day is rainbows, blowjobs, and unicorns, but I
Wish they
mean,
were. Wish they were.
They could be.
it could be, right?
Totally.
No, I just love
In an
that saying.
ideal world.
Right, cereal, right, girls, cereal. But like, it's, life keeps lifing, and that's okay. Like, I've learned to like deal with that, and I've come really far with that. But like, hold on, I'll put my camera on and you guys can see like how I look alive again. Like,
I seen some of your videos that you were posting, and you do look
amazing.
healthy. You look
Yeah.
You're
really
glowing.
I look
Yeah,
alive.
you look
Like I
amazing.
actually like have color
Well,
in my face, and like, I'm getting good sleep. My little eye twitchy thing is gone now. Like
Your skin looks great.
thank you. It's amazing what happens when you stop putting toxins in your body, right?
Yeah.
Like it's so crazy. And then like I guess Mason and Meggie and are really close. I know you guys don't see eye to eye with her, but she's been a really good rock for me in a positive way, not pushing Graceland, just wants me to get better, and like
We've
we're
got no beef with
friends.
Maggie. We've got no beef with Maggie at all.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't really keep up on it. I try to like, just dip in and out a little bit. But anyways, she's awesome. She's the one with the mini pig. She's got a little mini pig named Penny, and it is so fucking cute. Like so fucking cute. I keep telling her to
baby?
start a YouTube page for it or something. It's so adorable. But anyways, Mason had made that comment to you, Orange, that like he didn't know I was coming there fucked up or whatever. And they were on a mod call or whatever, and she was like, why are you lying about that? Like, why are you lying about that? I was on the phone call with you when Rachel told you and asked you what you wanted her to do. Do you want her to go back into detox, or do you want her to just come, or what do you, because I asked him, I called and I was like, hey, I fucked up. I used yesterday, I used today, and like I was gonna have to use to get there, obviously, or I wouldn't have gone. And he was like, no, just get on the bus and get here and we'll deal with it when you get here. And I was like, okay, I'm trusting you, you know, and I'm gonna get there. And I did everything I could, but like I said, when I started to lose my grip on reality and every snicker or laugh I think is about myself, even though it's not, and it was just me being paranoid, I knew I had to like remove myself from the situation just for my own sanity. Not that I don't think what they're doing is amazing. I love so many of the people there. Like, I'm sad to see Tom go home, but I'm happy for him. And Jose, Bryce, like all of them. I love them all. They're all great, great people, like individually and as a group. And it's not anything anybody did. It was just all me. And, you know, and I needed to put my mental health before anything else. And I understand them not believing me. I truly do. Like, who believes a fucking addict a week in? Nobody. I didn't, I wouldn't believe me. But, like, I knew just from that breakdown that I had, I knew where I was at mentally, if that makes sense, that I was like real close to breaking. But I just wanted to say thank you to you, Teapot. Like, you've always been so, so nice to me, and so, like everybody in here too. Like, the few people that I am like following and friends with in here, you guys have always been nothing but supportive and like, you know, you got it, girl, you can do this, and like all that stuff. So like, I just really wanted to thank you guys. Like, I saw you guys were live, and I just wanted to come on here and show some love and thank you guys so much for being like such a good cheerleading squad. I genuinely didn't realize like I had this many people that would like have my back and like want the best for me. So thank you so much for that.
You're so welcome.
Anytime, yeah. And at the end of the day, the main thing is that you're getting sober, right? And that you're on the right path, whatever that might be for you. And that's the main thing here. So we absolutely support you in that. And you know, I can't wait to see where it takes you, and hopefully it goes up from here.
It's so exciting. Like, I'm getting back into yoga again. Like, my yoga mat's set up over there. Like, I'm getting back into yoga. You know, I've been taking better care of myself with my nails and like my hair.
Yeah, did you gotta peep the nails? Because I've seen them a little.
Oh no, these ones are new ones I just did.
Oh, nice.
With friendship ones. Those black ones I had on were really cute, but I don't know what. I cleaned my bathtub like a crazy person. Like how normal to clean your bathtub, but it's like not normal for me anyway. But anyways, I don't know what I used, but something like made the black ones. They were just kind of cheapy ones from Temu, and it just made them like discolor like nobody's business. So
Yeah, it's probably like a chemical reaction, because I know that Temu does use cheaper things for nails and stuff like that. So if you're whatever product they're putting that plus like the harsh chemicals for your tub, yeah, I've done that with good nails too before. So
like I think it would have done it with any of them, because I was using like Clorox, and then I was not Clorox, sorry, I was using Comet, and then I was using
Comet will take anything off of anything.
Exactly, right. It'll take rust off a fucking rusty pipe. Like it'll do anything. So yeah, and then I was about to like don't want to say this, but make a BOMB on accident, because you know how they say if you mix chemicals in a toilet, like it can like explode. And so I was like really scared when I was mixing, because like I don't know, I'm 35, but like there's a lot of stuff that I haven't experienced yet, because I spent a lot of my 20s with my head in my lap. So, you know, it's a learning curve, but I'm lucky that I have a great support here. I have a great support online, and even the people at Graceland are still really, really supportive too. Like, you know, whenever I do jump on one of their lives and say hi to Jose or whoever, Evan, whoever might have the camera, whatever, they always say hi back, and they're always like, you know, how are you doing? We miss you. Like, and, you know, there's nothing but love, I think. You know, they understood the situation I had put myself in, and that I needed a little more help than they could offer. And there's no hard feelings. I still think it's a great program.
to each their own. There's no one size fits all for recovery. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm
No,
just
it's nice
happy
hearing
that
from
you
you.
had the awareness to say to yourself, I'm in a bad shape and I need to go get some professional help. Like
Right.
Yeah,
that's pretty
and
important. That means you love yourself, right? You love yourself
right,
enough to be able to recognize, hey, I need some help
totally.
here. And if I don't get this help, I'm really going to be hurting. So
Right. Some
my
people
hat's
live their
off to
entire
you.
lives not even realizing that, and it's amazing
Well,
that you
and
did.
then sorry to interrupt you, but
No, go ahead, go.
the thing is that I had a safe word set up with two people, right? Like the guy that I stay with now and Megs, and I was supposed to say banana because I'm obsessed with Minions. I have the pajamas on and everything, so banana's always been my little safe word, right? And on one of the last videos where I was talking to her, she's like, "Are you okay? Are you going bananas?" She was trying to lead me to it. And I was like, going bananas? I'm the whole fucking bunch of bananas. And I just stormed off. So she was trying to talk to me to get me to communicate with her, but I was just so irritated and just in my own head. So, but no, I think also what made me really self-aware of that is having that breakdown 3 years ago, that I knew the signs of what was coming. And I didn't want to do that in front of a bunch of people, let alone the internet, let alone in front of anybody. You don't want to do that in front of anybody. Because last time, because my teeth on the bottom are fake, they come in and out. Last time I fucking threw them away. They're $2,000 teeth, just threw them fucking away. So it was all kinds of crazy. So I'm just really grateful to all of them. Really, I really am. I still follow them. I still really care about a lot of them there. Bryce was able to give me great advice for my dog that has seizures because he was a vet tech once upon a time. He's a good guy. I love him to death. He's just a nice guy. And then also there's other people in the Discord that I just adore and talk to, Joe and all them. But it's just been a really great learning experience, and it's amazing what 60 days does. It's just fucking amazing. You guys all saw me on the couch. Come on now, everybody saw that. And if you hadn't, then it's been replayed and maybe not. But I know, Orange, you saw that stuff, and I was not there. And so to look back now and to be able to be standing on my own 2 feet and being able to hold my head up high is a big deal. So I just wanted to say thank you and show my love. Yeah, it's a totally different person, really. It is. I'm not as cocky and mean, and yeah.
Yeah, well, you're better. You're
Right.
not sick right now, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm leveled out.
just keep doing whatever you're doing, because based upon what I see and hear, it seems to be working well for you,
Right.
right?
I've even put a little bit of weight on in a good way, and yeah, no, it's been great. I go to a meeting every day. And if I don't make it to a meeting in person, then I'm on Zoom or Discord, but I do a meeting of AA every day, no matter what. No matter what. So that helps keep me grounded. I stay in my literature and stuff like that, except for my dog. I have a husky, and he ate
Your
this
4-step.
part of this book. This is the 12 and 12. And then he ate my daily reflections book. He ate the whole freaking book.
He's hungry for recovery. Does he have a
That's
problem?
what I put it on my thing too. I said somebody took a bite out of recovery because it was missing the first month or two. I was like, oh my God. And then I left it in my, you're on top of my entertainment center. There's a little drawer, and I left it on top of there. I didn't think for a second he would pull it out. Oop, as I spit. He would pull it out, but he totally pulled it out and ripped it a new one. He's a husky, though. They're just known for being little chewers, and he's eaten a hole in my bed. He's just a total asshole. But he's my baby. He's not even in here with me.
Well, at least you got at least you got him though, right? I'm sure he makes you feel better on the days that you're having a hard time.
So much. He's actually a trained assist dog. and he'll paw at me when my heart's going too fast, if I'm going like, so I won't put myself into a panic attack.
Wow, that's so
That's
cool.
amazing.
Yeah, right. It's 100K words. I don't even think I could write that many words, boy. I didn't have to write words. I didn't get to that point. I left before I had to start writing words. But yeah, 100K words for leaving important reading material out. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh yeah, you'd definitely be getting a lot for those. Yeah, you'd be getting a lot of words, reflections, 100%.
I'd be in so much trouble at that place because I like my brother. My brother's 8 years older than me, and I can remember him asking me when I was like 11 or 12. He's like, "Do you think before you speak?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "You should probably start doing that." And I just it sticks out in my memory now. It's just so funny because I really don't. I shit just comes out of my mouth. It's crazy.
T
I'm
can
like
relate
that
to.
a lot. Yes, Ray
Yeah.
is.
So yeah. Go ahead. T. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, Ray is. She was at Graceland and left just because she needed a bit more help for herself.
Look at that pup.
What a
I don't know if she knows
cutie.
she's on mute.
baby.
You're on mute, Rachel.
That's
Say no.
Loki. This is my
Loki.
buddy.
What's up, Loki?
Loki,
Oh, what a
look and saying hi. Say hi, Booby. He likes when mommy has nails because he likes ear scratches. And then I
Of course,
have
who
a white
doesn't?
German Shepherd too. He's absolutely beautiful. My white
A lot
German
of
Shepherd. He's probably in Daddy's room sleeping with Daddy. Oh, yeah, the lights are out. Oh, yeah, he's asleep. Sorry. He's already down for the night.
well, we got 1 out of 2. We'll take it. We'll take
Yeah,
Huskies any day.
I was trying to show Maxwell off, but he's sleeping with you. Come here, Maxwell. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you.
It's okay.
Get some real live dog action. It's a good night here. Isn't that incredible that dog can it can feel when her heart rate goes up? That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Just sit there and paw at me. Like he has to be sitting next to me, or and he just can tell when it's too high. Come here, Maxie. I saw you walk in, and then I saw him walk in, and then he left. He's like, "Bye, bitch, bye."
Little camera shy.
Duck Duck Goose, from what I know, all of their gifts and stuff go to like Pat. They don't give the gifts to the residents or anything like that.
Get back, Jack. This is my big
Oh,
boy.
goodness.
He's a big old white German Shepherd. He's
That
so beautiful.
face.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and then this
Oh my
one,
God.
he can't stand it. He's got to be like right next to Maxie, and he even does it in bed when we're sleeping. Like he's got to be touching him. It's so funny. I've never seen a dog that wants to be so close to another dog like that. Like if he's not touching me or Max, or he can't sleep. It's weird. He's like separation anxiety. I can't
Do you know
even tell
when
you
he-
how many pillows he's eaten.
Do you know when he got removed from Mama? Like how old he was when that happened?
Oh, and he's a pound puppy too. So he's not 100% husky. He has been to school to be my emotional support, because here in the state of Nevada, your emotional support dog, they'll cover the vet bills. So like that's awesome, right? Like vet bills are expensive to begin with. Huskies are known for eating weird stuff and having issues and this and that. So it's really cool that like the state will pay for his vet bills. And then Maxwell is about to be certified for him, so that way, because he has seizures.
Okay.
And so just because Loki had already been to school, it was easier to get him certified. But Max is going to school right now, and he's really good about, alerting, and he's diabetic, so he knows when his blood sugar's low, and he'll go grab his pen and stuff like that. Like, he's really, really smart. Our German Shepherd is really, really smart. And
And they
yeah,
love that, right? They're working dogs.
they
So
love it. He
they love it.
literally like lives to do stuff for him. Like, he just loves being a little worker bee. He's just totally into it. And you know, he loves being like of service, as weird as that might sound, but he loves it. And you know, and then his nighttime cuddles, he's a big cuddle bug, and he likes his ears scratched and stuff. And he's just a total sweetheart. And when we first got him, he was not, like, they're both pound puppies, and he was not good with other dogs. And I had a Chihuahua that has now passed, and hence why I got Loki this last year. Anyways, when I had my little Chihuahua, he used to punk the fuck out of the German Shepherd. He would punk him like nobody's business. I've got to find the old Instagram video and repost it on TikTok. But like, he would bite his back of his legs and then turn around like he wasn't doing nothing. So by the time Max turned around, it didn't look like he was doing anything. And then he'd do it again, and then he'd catch him, and then he would just like at him and like scare the crap out of him. But that was like his first interaction with another dog. And then he just totally took to Loki. Like, they play rough. If you look at my page, you'll see them. They play rough, and they bite each other, and they're all playful. But as soon as I say something to them and I'm like Maxwell, stop, or Loki, no, like, they instantly break up. So it's just playful fun. They're awesome. I love my boys.
They're pretty amazing.
That's another great thing that I think about of Graceland, is them allowing people to have their support animals there. I didn't know that at the time, but
Yeah,
I think that's a good thing.
That's one way of looking at it, for sure.
I mean,
For
like,
sure.
it can be a bad thing, sure, but like, because dog fights or this or that or whatever, people being allergic, but I don't know. It's a nice comfort thing too, I think, for some people, especially people if they haven't ever been away from them, like, you know, their dogs. But I don't know. I hope and pray everything's good for Pat and everything's good for his family. I just want to see everybody happy and healthy. You know, that's all. I don't. What happened. It is what it is. It's over, done with, dead, reborn. You know what I mean? Like, holding on to resentments like that just leads to relapse, and I just don't have time for that
I'll hold
anymore.
Rach, I'll hold the resentment for you. Don't worry.
There you go. You can hang on to it.
I am. I got you. You fly free. I'll hold the for you. Okay.
Hey, you hold it down, dude. He Mason did admit to it that he knew that I was coming in messed up, and he was, privy to that information. He was on 2 different phone calls with me. I also have the text messages now, and like, it's not that I'm gonna do anything with it. I didn't even really, I kind of let it go, and Megs is the one that was like, no, he needs to fucking admit his wrong because he's always talking about accountability. Well, take accountability for your part in this, bud. And I guess she's right in a way. Like, I just didn't want to make it into a bigger deal than it already had been drawn out of. And I guess he's no longer working there. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
What?
No.
Oh,
when did that happen?
am I dropping the tea right now?
As of
last night, hold on one second. Let me grab my ashtray.
Is she talking about Mason?
Yeah, as of last night.
I'll trade you. I'll hold the resentment. You tell me something. Go.
Okay, all right. I'll spill a little bit of tea that I do have. I don't know if it's still true today, right now, but as of last night, he was no longer employed by Graceland.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
I don't know.
What happened or no?
No, I haven't talked to Megs yet. I'm about to call her here shortly. I was just hopping on here to see what was going on the TikTok. And he'd message her messaged her because they still have some of my stuff that needs to be mailed, and he was supposed to mail it. So she was getting together with him to mail it, and she was going to pay for it for me and this and that, because I was like,
That's
I
nice
don't know
of
when I
her.
can afford to do that. And she's like, no, I got you. Like, we'll get your stuff to you. I promised you that. And I was like, okay, it's not that big of a deal, but thank you. So I waited until after the first of the year and through all the holidays, and then now they're dealing with the wildfires. So I was just going to wait until, things calm down there in California. But Mason had messaged her last night because they have a meeting every Monday night where they talk about business and this and that, and what she's doing to help them, because she's like a consultant for a living. Like, she consults on people's businesses and helps them so their businesses do better or whatnot. Anyways, she was helping them whatnot, and she somehow Mason had messaged her and was like, we don't need to do our meeting tomorrow. I no longer am employed by Graceland. So I don't know if he left or... Oh,
You
Claire
never
Bear's
know,
calling
right?
me. So
'cause
maybe
she's
I'll get the
positive.
tea and let you know.
No, she's calling you because
Wait, hold on.
Jose's in here and
But
having her
I
call
will
you.
return.
What? Hey,
Jose's in here
Rachel.
and is having her call you, Ray.
Rachel.
That's what it is.
Rachel. Hello?
Oh, I think she answered the call.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna drop soon because Jose is here. Hi, Jose.
Great,
Hey,
Jose,
Jose.
just please, Jose, if you're listening, don't go hard on the fucking girl if she just dropped that. She is only 64 days clean. Don't let her feel like she just did something she shouldn't have.
And we didn't press that, dude. So let me be really clear here. Like, nobody was digging for information. Like,
Oh, God, I hope they are not.
I even held my space.
Yeah, she just dropped.
If you listen to that thing, I held my tongue because I wanted to celebrate the fact that she was sober and healthy and happy. And I didn't want to smear that by bringing in the negativity that I feel about Graceland. So I'm asking you, dude, like one-to-one, don't harsh on her, dude. I'm asking you that. Don't harsh on her.
Also, why is Claire involving herself like that?
Oh, okay, Jose, but if
No,
Claire or anything is
Jose didn't just come in.
recruiting-
Jose, I saw your name coming in and out, and you were there for a while, and that's fine. But we're just saying this was a positive moment. She decided to spill that. We even let her go on and on about how great you guys all were in Graceland.
Yeah, no,
But you were here for a long time. I watched your name came in. I let you lurk here quietly without calling you out. You weren't here for just a minute, Jose. Mentiroso.
I noticed you come in 5 minutes ago, so.
Just please don't go hard on the girl. She's in a good place right now.
And don't excommunicate her either, because she said that eventually would have found out. Eventually, Kat would have been out of the bag. Didn't matter how we found out about it, because we would have anyways. So if she ends up getting excommunicated or people decide to talk to her less because of this, I'm going to be really upset, because that then affects her and her sobriety.
Yeah, man. Like, I hope you guys don't pull some bullshit non-com, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, honest to God, don't. Because you're hurting her, right? And she didn't do anything wrong.
And she wasn't there when you guys made everyone or sign the NDAs because you realized you couldn't do it when they first came in. So she owes nothing if she does choose to share her story.
And to know she's in a tender place, I hope she's still treated as just as good as she was the moment before this chat happened.
Yeah, she was talking so positively. She didn't say one thing bad.
See, that's
And
what
neither
I mean.
do we.
Even speak
Yeah,
your
neither do
mind
we.
on here, and you'll have like, that's what we mean, Jose. And it might not have been you but whoever is listening from Graceland or whatever, like, don't shit on her because she just let that out. It would have came out either way that Mason's not there. So just don't go hard on her for coming in here and speaking her mind. It wasn't in a hateful way.
Have a good night, Jose. You're free to do whatever you want. No one's blocked you. No one's preventing you from coming in. We're just saying it's every time you come in here, someone gets a call and gets forced to drop out.
I'm just curious. He's like, how
and
come?
it's just insanity, man.
Chill out.
No, I'm just curious, Jose. You haven't said it all. Well, we'll make sure that doesn't happen. Could you look into that? I would really like if you did, to make sure she doesn't get treated any differently. Is that something they could tell me you can look into, please? I'd really appreciate it.
Did Mason get let go so he can't get deposed, man, about you guys getting the food for the residents on the food bank every Friday, 45 minutes away?
Mason was on a spiral, though. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was his spiral was a big part of it, and not just
and
the food
him
bank.
not being allowed to be online. I think probably, and he was really fucking digging that online shit. So I'm assuming maybe Mason just had a fuck you and left.
Yeah,
been a
so what
myriad
I'm
of
asking
things.
is, could you please be her advocate to make sure that she's still treated properly? Because I would guess that people are a little bit upset with her, and I don't want her to feel put down in any way for.
But they can't. They don't have any control. They don't have any control. That's the problem. Jose, Evan, they don't have the control. They follow the lead. They follow the lead of Madison. They follow the lead of Danielle, and they follow the lead of Patrick, regardless of whether it's ethical or not. So don't even waste your breath trying to plead with him to assist, because there's been other residents where they were completely unethically treated, and he didn't do anything for her, and they were good, and he was good friends with her.
You're right, Blue.
So don't even go crawling to them with any ounce of just, can we have some simple goddamn humanity? Because that house is devoid of it.
And I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit tired of being nice, because last time was above and beyond nice and still got called a cyberbully. So I'm just going to keep it straight. You can do what you want. You can come in here. We're not going to block you. We're not going to mute you. We're just asking to have some goddamn grace with her. That's all.
They don't at all. That's why these people are going through significant trauma when they leave there afterwards.
Hey, Dr. Goose.
Hi, Dr. Goose.
Hi, I just want to say one thing. This is going to take like a minute. I've been through so many like treatments down there, like through Southwest Florida, all that kind of stuff. I have never seen one legitimate company do this like blackmail kind of thing. Like you can't talk to people non-com. That's just bizarre to me. I don't understand it, why we can't talk to other people who have left.
Jose, it's I could not care less is the proper one.
Yeah,
I can care less means you have less to care.
That's the problem, dog. You're in a position to actually do something where these people quit suffering on an emotional and physical and mental. Like, that's the fucking problem, bro. Like, you're involved in that.
Jose, you can't
are
say
part
you're
of
not,
that.
Sorry, Blue. You can't say you're not here to cause any more drama when you directed one of your mods to call Ray because she was saying something that you didn't like. And this happens every time you come in here if someone's talking. We can do what we want, yet you'll have someone come in and harass the person that's talking.
And a lot of things so weird.
You are culpable still. And she was speaking very highly of you and everyone that was at Graceland.
I had to silence myself.
Sorry, Jilly, I'm going to mute you for a moment. She said one thing, and you could have called racial yourself, but you had someone else do it so you can have your hands clean and keep pretending to be the nice guy. We were super kind and patient to you. Even when people are going off, we said, hey, be mindful of how you talk to Jose. Jose's the only one here, so he's getting all the heat. And you still managed to turn that and make that into some drama like you're a victim. So right now, I don't have the patience for this. You came in here, you started some shit, and you had that girl get called for no fucking reason when she didn't do anything wrong.
But let's hope that Ray is okay. And if you're listening, please don't turn on Ray. That was innocently said. Everything's not a secret at all. Will come out anyways when you guys go live.
And let's make it clear, there was no prodding or pressing or questions in that regards. We were just talking to her about her dogs and her life.
And you know, I saw, and listen, somebody was asking for additional information about the event that transpired over there with Mason leaving. And I wrote in the chat, she does not have that kind of information, because I didn't want to see it turned into, you know, an interrogation or investigation or whatever, right? Because unfortunately, as soon as she said that, my heart dropped, right? Because I knew there was going to be I felt there was going to be some sort of repercussion for even having an innocent conversation, you know, because that's just how they operate.
I already knew she was getting a phone call. It happens every time he comes in.
No, and
Every-
I will like second
Where's
that. That if you remember the time that Jose's sister came in and she was talking, and then Jose came in and Jose's sister hopped up, and then all of a sudden, as soon as Jose came in, she just dropped out of nowhere and she didn't come back. Same with the first night that Adina came in, Jose came in, and then Adina all of a sudden got a call and she had to drop and wasn't back until a few days later. So, I mean, it's just like, like Jose, if you're in the comments saying it's the internet, it's a free place, then treat it as such. You can't control what people say.
They don't give a shit. And, you know, he's like, oh, I'm a fan of her. Well, like, if you, like, Zoe was a really close friend of yours, dog.
He left.
And-
He left.
I'm sorry. It's just, it sucks. It sucks so bad that these people over there, they're vindictive and they're nasty and they're dangerous and they're harmful, you know, and they're going to take something like this, some very innocent and sweet young woman who just achieved 60 some days of sobriety from going from a detox in their fucking garage and being filmed to what we all saw today. And that's what I was trying to say. She was glowing, Britt. And that's like what I wanted to celebrate tonight. Like, that's a goddamn miracle. And then you're going to have this massive attack against this young woman because of just who they are.
You know what? Sweet Pea, I can't tell what you're trying to say. I don't feel like figuring it out.
She meant them.
Oh, sorry. Take it back.
Not
then.
us. Yeah, them.
I'm sorry. I'm sensitive.
Everyone needs to chill out. Everyone deep breaths. Ready?
I'm sorry.
Everybody on
I am
three.
calm.
1, 2,
I am sorry. And I'm sorry. I'm not always like I cannot be bubbly with him because at this.
No, that's okay. But just everyone just simmer
Woosah.
a little bit. Woosah.
Where's the duck goose?
Breathe in.
Where'd she
1,
go?
2, 3.
He's in the chat still.
Wasn't she up here? I wanted to hear her tale.
Puff, puff, pass.
No, they're not learning healthy behaviors and boundaries, which is why we keep having these discussions.
That's so far off their radar. It's so far off their radar. They use behavioral modification with humiliation. There you are, Duck. I'm going
Just
on.
shallow
mute.
breaths is absolutely fine, April.
Hey, duck, duck, goose.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey. How's it going? Are you with us?
Hey, Duck, are you on with us? I'd love to hear what you're about to say. I could use something to focus on.
We can't hear you. You might need to drop and join back.
But on the other side, Mason's out. Fuck, that was the most juiciest shit since Graceland went offline.
God damn, it's been 2 weeks.
Finally, man, he needed to get off of the live.
Hopefully he can.
Well, he's not
get
just off the
some.
live, it sounds. He's off the Graceland train.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know if he's still in the grad house and still there, just not a staff member anymore.
Right.
That's true.
Who are you talking about?
Mason.
You don't know, right? He could have gotten another job offer. He could have been made to resign. I mean, there's a myriad of reasons why he's no longer with the organization, and everything would be speculation at this point.
That's what we're saying, Blue.
I'm sorry.
Let's
Sorry,
ask
Brett.
Chat. Chat, what do you think? Do you think Mason left because of his own accord, or do you think he was out by them, like get out type thing?
I think it was 50-50 personally. I think that he was on his way out and it was.
Yeah, he was looking a lot like Pat near the end there.
Outed. Make a poll.
Rage quit. Oh, that's a good one.
He said he did have another job in recovery. My money is that he left himself. but because I think he was on a downward spiral anyways, and maybe that he got called out about some shit and took it personally and was like, "Fuck you guys, I'm going to do what I want."
He seemed really
battle
upset
all
about
day,
Madison
every day.
calling him our fault, chat's fault. But
Yeah.
he was really spiraling out there with the attention, with the battling, to the
didn't
point
say
where he
anything
was no
wrong
longer
with
doing his. I'm sorry, he was no longer doing his job. He's in the meetings, more focused on the battles. He's doing his live instead of talking to people, sharing their stories. He's focused on the battles. People start sending money for pizza, and he gets so fucking excited. He doesn't even listen to Jose saying, "Man, chill."
Who's clicking?
Oh, it was me. Sorry, I was just replying
not.
to Chantel.
Wow
because-
says.
Sorry,
Wow.
guys. Chantel just asked, "How do we know?" And I just let her know that. It's
And for anyone coming in, the update was that somebody was in here that's an ex Gracelander, and she just innocently just dropped that and didn't know that we didn't know that Mason left. He's no longer employed by Graceland as of yesterday.
And she was very positive about Graceland up to that point. It was not a
Yeah.
talking type of thing. She had very nice things to say.
And then immediately she got a phone call from Claire, who is the mod for their TikTok. And then she just got cut off the phone because that's what these savages do. They silence people and they do it through humiliation and fear. That's what they do.
GameStop Tommy is not, G-Man is different than Tommy.
Yeah.
And yeah, and the update from Graceland today was that Tommy is going back
Going home.
home.
Back to work,
God.
back to look after his daughter, to put her through college, I believe. So I hope he does well. Yeah.
It's probably the best. You're right, Ren. It's probably it's the best thing for all those people to leave. Every single one of them.
We don't know why Alex left because they haven't been live. Last time they were live, I believe she was still in the house at that point.
I'm sorry?
Alex.
No, not you.
Oh.
Boop. You gotta breathe, my dude.
Oh.
It hurt. It sucks. It sucks. Like I
and
just see them, and I'm
It's
sorry,
just
but I
with
just.
what Monroe was saying.
Oh.
All right.
Like
Check that.
your response is, I think, stemming from Graceland. And you just gotta take a breath for a moment.
I didn't know that. Monroe, I did not know that.
Duck Duck Goose, we can't hear you at all.
No, we can't hear you.
That's him.
Maybe Duck Duck Goose close the app down completely and then come back. Hopefully
Close
it'll
any
work.
other apps you have open too. That might be another issue.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're wearing headphones, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Rin, I agree. Just in time when Pat returns, it is a win for Mason. I think it would just get crazier for him if he was already spiraling.
What's
And I don't think anyone meant any. There's no racial thing behind that.
Yeah.
When that's said, that's a regular word for I think a lot of people. I don't think people understand. I've never heard of that, but that's the first time ever hearing about it. But if it's said, it's just it's just as a.
It's also a compliment too.
Sorry, you guys raised
Some
this thing
insight
back
onto
in.
this.
Hey Ray.
Okay,
Hey
Ray,
guys,
how you doing?
sorry. No,
You don't have to
it
apologize
was
for
clear. No, I didn't get talked down to at all. No, I'm great.
good.
I'm great, guys. No, I didn't get in trouble. I did not sign the same contract the new people have signed, so I'm free to say whatever I want to say. But at the same time, it was new news to Claire. She was like, wait, what? So she was just trying to get filled in on what was going on. Like, I didn't know it wasn't public knowledge. I thought it was public knowledge by now because of how fast the internet works, but I guess he hasn't spoke on it. So I don't really have any information besides the fact that he's no longer employed with Graceland. That's all I know.
Yeah.
We're not here to
And
get
like Claire
information
wasn't
from you.
like, me and Claire are really cool. Like it wasn't like she was talking, she was just like, wait, what happened? Like she just wanted to know herself. That's all.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't
That's
like
good.
that.
That's
She's
good.
a sweetheart.
That's
She
good.
really is.
Because when you were offline, I want you to know, like, how very, very like happy and proud I am. Like, because I saw you where you were and where you are now.
Thank
And
you
you're
so much.
And you're glowing. And you're glowing.
Oh, thank
and
you.
I I don't want any of those bastards to take any of that away from you or try to.
No,
So
not at all.
That's why I got upset. So
No,
that's
and
all I have to
rightfully
say.
so. Like, honestly, if it would have been anybody else, I would have been offended. But there's like a handful of people that are supporters and this and that. And Claire, she literally is the sweetest thing ever. She just was like, oh, I didn't know that. And like, she's like, what? And I was like, we just chat for a minute. And I was like, yeah, I just got out of the shower. I'm going to get ready for bed anyways. I was like, I just want to hop back on there and let them know I'm okay and everything's good. But no, I didn't get chastised. I didn't get yelled at. No, none of that stuff. Everything's Gucci.
Good.
All
We
right.
just want to make sure, because there was a pattern of people coming up and us having similar conversations, right? Calm, good, and just allowing people to speak their truth, and then a phone call happening. So that's why, to be honest, whatever they may say, it still seems sus with the timing. Because as soon as I saw the name, I called it out. He's in here.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw you said that, and I said who it was. I wasn't hiding nothing. I ain't got nothing to hide. And
the problem is, it was every time it was her, one of the other mods, or someone else. It's never him making the call.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. And the only thing is that like I didn't sign the same contract everybody else has signed now. And everybody else now has signed like an NDA and this and that. The contract I signed was their old one, which really didn't cover them for shit. Like it basically says that he owns all the rights to the videos. Any video that's taken, he owns the rights to them. Congratulations, you can have them. I don't need video of me puking. But like I lived in the garage for 3 days. Like I really could care less to see the videos. But like, you know what I mean? So like other than like him owning the rights to the videos and then like them taking your phone for 60 days at least, and your fourth step, which I'm 60 days in and I'm still working on my third step. So I'm not even to my fourth step yet. So anyways, that's beside the point. My point being on that is that it takes a little bit of time to do a fourth step correctly. That's on whoever's doing it and how thorough you want to do it. You can do a fast one, but it's not going to benefit you any. But that's beside the point. But no, she was just curious herself. She was like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, you didn't hear? And blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, I'm going to call Megs. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm going to bed. Have fun.
Hey, Ray, can you do me a favor? Listen, everybody is pretty familiar with me and my lack of having one iota of respect or care about Graceland. But with that being said, can you just reach out to Meg and tell her I said thank you? Because I didn't know she had that conversation, and with the
she put him on blast, like in front
Can you
of
just say I said thank you for me?
Yeah, of
'Cause
course.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
No, and she like made him apologize and this and that, like, and take responsibility for it. And I honestly, like I said, I had dropped it. I didn't even know that she was still mad about it. And she's like, no, because I was on the phone with you guys when you asked him, what do you want me to do? And, and he was like, do whatever you got to do to get yourself here. Those were his exact words. So, he didn't say go and do this, that, or that, but he knew what I was doing. You know what I mean? So it was just like an unspoken thing. Like, no, he didn't say to go do it, but he said, do what you need to do to get here.
I get it. Well, I really, really appreciate that there was someone out there that said,
she's gone to bat for me several times against Graceland. She's gone to bat for me several times. Like she's really, really is a good person. She really genuinely cares. So is Claire. They're both beautiful, beautiful people. And like, they understood what I was doing when I was leaving. And like, it was sad, they wanted me to be able to graduate and do good there and, be a house manager, work there, whatever, once like I had graduated and whatnot. And like, I understood what they were seeing for me and whatnot, but it's not the path I wanted to go down. Do I think I'll end up working in treatment? Sure, I do, 100%. I just, not sure where yet.
I'm glad they did support you with leaving and accepted your choice and have
Totally.
continued to be supportive of you. I think that's a beautiful thing.
Like to the point where like Meg's after, because when she was really nervous about me going back into Nevada, right? Because that's where all back to Vegas, where all of my shenanigans had started and really been really bad, you know, because I've lived and grown up here my whole life. So I've gotten in a lot of trouble here and caused a lot of trouble and this and that. And she was on the phone with the guy that was giving me a ride home. And like, we're together, but we're not together. It's complicated. That's complicated in its own self. Anyways, moving on from that, she had talked to him on the way home, and we literally pulled over before the state line so she could make some phone calls, and she found a mental hospital that I could go check myself into right away that had a rapid thing. It was like 5 days or whatnot. She helped me get that all set up. And then on top of all that, she's like, hey, send me his Cash App. And I was like, why? I was like, you don't need to do anything. Stop. You've done enough. Like, I'm already going into treatment. I talked to her on FaceTime before I went into treatment there in Vegas. And she's like, she sent him like $150 for the gas. And she was like, thank you for taking her back into treatment. And I really appreciate that. Like, she genuinely has a good heart. She has a really interesting story. You guys should talk to her one day about it. She's never personally been affected by addiction in the sense that she's never had the problem, but she's been affected through a loved one. It's not my story to share, or I would, but it's a pulls at the heartstrings, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I think it's especially when our mental health isn't there, we do need a village, right? And it's already hard enough to ask for that kind of support and help in those needs. But the fact, again, I still give you all the praise for recognizing what you needed and having the strength to say, I have to get, more support for my mental health. Right. And I do think it's a beautiful thing that you've made those friendships for them to be part of your village as you do seek that help. Yeah. That's important for us as we grow and just speaking for the mental health side as we kind of work through that and kind of, everything that happens in the midst of a mental health breakdown, but also what can come after. You need that support. Yeah. And I think that's a wonderful, I'll never shit on someone for supporting anyone with that.
No, I totally agree with you there because she's only 2 years older than me, 3 years older than me or something like that. But she's almost like a mommy to me because me and her both had really fucked up moms. Who didn't though? We all have mommy or daddy issues to some extent, but at the same time, she's just been such a solid, good woman to look up to because she's got the beautiful family, she's got the beautiful house. Not that she doesn't have her own problems, everybody does. What's on the outside is not always what matters, but she's got a great heart and and Claire too. They both have been just really great women for me to look up to and be attraction through promotion. That's what AA is all about. And it's man, I want what those women have, the confidence and the assurance of themselves. And there's a lot of you that I see and I'm gosh, I just love that. And I'm starting to find my own footing on how to be a strong woman without being too aggressive. You know what I mean? Finding that happy medium. But, it's a lot of trial and error. And I just wanted to thank you guys all so much for being so supportive. And I hadn't been on here in a minute and I saw you guys were live. So just wanted to come and say hi and thank you so much for all the love and support. I really, really adore you guys.
Yeah, rooting for you and hopefully, as this fog continues to lift and, again, glowing, I hope that glow just gets brighter. And again, thank you for just coming in here and sharing your story with all of us. It takes a lot to share in front of people. And the fact that you've been so vulnerable with us, we hear you and we really appreciate what you've said. And I'm rooting for you, girly pop.
No, thank you so much. That means the world to me. It really does, because I've never really been one of those types that had a lot of friends or anything. I was very awkward and played sports. I wasn't a girly girl, and you know what I mean? So now being a little more girly and coming into like my more feminine side and stuff, and finding like my place in the world, it's good to have all these wonderful women and men in my corner, men, women, whoever. I don't care if you're green, blue, orange, purple. I don't care. Having all the people that I do have in my corner, like, it literally makes it so much more doable. And it really does take a village.
It does. It's your divine feminine coming through. I think it's a beautiful thing. So, I don't know. I think similar story for me is a little bit awkward in sports, but I was always a girly girl in the midst of it. But friendships are hard, and like as you get older, it gets harder. So like when you do find those friendships and you do find support, hold on.
Have you ever seen that girl Kira on the Graceland TikToks?
Yeah.
Oh, she's really pretty.
Isn't she? Okay,
Doesn't she work at the gym or something?
She works at like a gym situation, like Gold's Gym or something. I'm not sure which one it is, but Britt, you genuinely, like the way you talk and like how you are and like the words that you use, you so remind me of her in such a great way. Like she just like radiates light and she's so happy and so positive. But like what you just said, literally, she popped into my head because she was just like that too. Like she just could always find the silver lining, you know what I mean? And then you come off that way. So I'm just really thankful to you guys.
Can I ask a question? Do you know, like, with the old NDAs, like, what were they just like pretty much an outline? Did they just describe anything? Can you remember what they were?
Okay, to be quite honest with you, when I signed it, I was 3 sheets to the wind. I honestly am surprised I could sign my own name. But with that said, now it's a lot different, right? They have to wait a week, piss clean, and then they're allowed to sign it. And they're not allowed to be on camera until that. And then also, I believe so. And then also they, the one before that, it just kind of like said, it was really like short and like not a lot of stuff said, just like you'll keep people's private stuff private and that's it. Like there's people like there's this awesome guy named G. I'm not gonna say his whole name. I think you guys have heard Pat talk to him from time to time, and he does not want to be on camera, period. He will not. And he didn't sign it, and they never put him on camera. You might get a glimpse of him here and there when they show the whole group, but other than that, he does not want to be on camera. And he's successful in his own right. And, you know, he married his ex-wife is a adult actress, I believe. But anyways, my point being is that, like, he's been there, done that. And he doesn't want to be on camera because he's got a son and he doesn't want to embarrass his son or to make his son's life harder. He's in high school and that's an awkward age for any boy. And, you know, so anyways, they respect everybody's boundaries. If they don't want to be on camera, that's okay. You don't have to sign that paper. It just means you won't be on camera. And they're okay with that.
So the first paperwork was just the on-camera, like, disclosure about the social media. It wasn't an NDA.
No NDA. I did not sign an NDA because like before I even went there, I have an ex. His name's Bill. He's like my best friend now. He's a lot older than me. I'm 35. He's 63. We've got 28 years between us. He's become like a father figure. I started dating him when I was 21, and yeah, I was young and he was quiet. We had 28 years between us. He was like, anyways, moving on. Before I even went there, he was like, can you do me one favor? And I was like, whatever you need, because he's always been there for me. And he was like, I would like a copy of those contracts that you're going to be signing so I can have my attorney look at them. And they would not send me a copy of those contracts. And he was like, there's your red flag of why not to go right there. If they won't disclose the contracts, they're hiding something. And I was like, well, I mean, it can't be anything that big, right? I didn't really think about it, and I didn't really put much thought behind it. But he was so mad at me when he heard I went, because he was like, I told you not to go, god dang it. Like, you know, he was just got on to me about it. He's like, you know, yeah, but you know, it wasn't like an NDA. It wasn't anything I say is free game. Like I said, I didn't sign the new one. That one's drawn up by Megs. It's ironclad. There's no way around it. Like, what's her name was about to get a cease and desist from talking to you guys, I think.
Adina.
Yeah, because yeah, it was getting like that. So they can't say nothing to me though, because I didn't sign that. So I'm free to talk about what I want to talk about.
And
But
it really wouldn't, even if you did, it wouldn't have much weight in court because you weren't in your right mind at the time and still under the influence. Yeah.
exactly.
Or even
like,
they're managing medications, or
right.
there's a long list of illegal behaviors which we've all witnessed together as a community.
No, yeah, totally.
And so
like
those NDAs, they're you know what they're worth? Shit.
Right,
Yeah.
the paper they're written on. I don't know enough about that stuff to speak on it at all. I just know that I didn't sign that one, so I can speak freely about this, that, or the other. But like I said, I'm just trying to move forward, and you know, it's a part of my story, but it's not the only part of my story. So I mean, the new memories.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can we just sit and think about this just for a second, just as a community, as a tribe, if you will? Like, you have the director of operations, right, who is what I would assume would be the one that would initiate, right, because that would be her responsibility. A cease and desist order against a past resident. Like, just process that information. Like, why would anybody want to adhere to an NDA for a sober living?
Well, you shouldn't have to, number one, but that's beside the point. But like, they didn't send it out to her. They were talking about doing it, but they didn't actually go through with it.
Probably because their attorney said it's not, if they even used the attorney, said, well, what's the point, right?
Right.
Like, where are you trying to go with this?
Yeah, like, are you going to actually sue her? Are you going to actually take her to court? Like, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know on that one. I'm out of the loop on that, and because I do speak to you guys, they don't really keep me on the loop on a lot of things. So
They don't want one single past resident going across an attorney for a deposition or someone that's willing to fill out affidavits.
well, I mean, like, I've reached out to, who was it? I think it was Nancy Grace reached out to me, I think it was, and I told her, like, I'd be happy to talk to her if she ever wanted to, but she never said anything back to me. So she had reached out to me and was like, hey, I'd really like to hear your story and your experience there, and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, yeah, sure, whenever you want to talk, just let me know. And then I never heard anything. So she obviously was busy with other stuff. So like I said, I think it's a great place depending on what you're going there for. Like, you know, if you need more mental help like I did, may not be the place for you. But, you know, there are people there that do have mental issues that are doing just fine there. It just maybe wasn't the place for me. That's all.
My opinion, you only go to that place when you want to be humiliated and loaded up with additional fear and made to feel like you're a worthless piece of shit. That's my opinion on that
Well,
organization.
we know where you stand on it, Mr. Orange. But you guys have a fabulous night. I'm going to hit the hay.
You too, Ray. Get some
So much
rest.
for all the love and support. Like,
Thanks for joining us, Ray.
You made my night. I can't tell you, like, to see you on that camera shining, like literally shining, like
here, I'll turn it back on for a second.
an extra glow, we'll take it.
Well, I'm just like, I'm proud that you guys are so proud of me. Are you kidding me? I love it. Oops, I think I've got my camera facing the wrong way. Whoopsie. No, like, because it literally, like, I had lost so much weight when I first went there because, like, I didn't eat for that whole week, right? Like, I didn't eat anything. So I was at 160 pounds when I went in. I was like a size 7. I'm back into a size freaking 3 when I got home. now I've got myself back at like a 4 or 5 almost. And that's where I'm happy. Like, that's where I feel like, you know, it's a good weight, like not too skinny, not too thick. Like, it's a good weight for my body because I'm also almost 5'7", so I can carry it pretty well. So I don't know. I'm just happy. Like, genuinely.
That's the main thing, right? As long as you're happy, that's the main thing.
Right. Like, I'm genuinely just happy. And thank you so much for saying you guys see a glow, because it's like, it's nice to hear that. Like, I know it shouldn't always be about that kind of stuff, but it's good to hear sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, that the progress that you're doing and like these little baby steps are actually adding up to real steps, right? So it's like, yeah, it's amazing to feel. And thank you guys so much. Oh, wow. You guys don't have to do that. Seriously. Thank you so much. You guys have been so generous and so awesome to me. Like, I love you guys. Really, I do.
Anytime you can come in, anytime, Ray, and you look healthy. You look great.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, you look amazing.
Day 65. Keep going, and you got this.
I didn't even make the connection of the video that I saw, that was you. It took me a second. I was like, oh my God.
No, I was going to say that.
Yeah, it took me a second. I was like, because I was going through the catalog in my head because you went to my names.
Famous jacket. Hold on.
Fashion show, strut mamas.
It took me a solid like 3 minutes to be like, oh, that's the same.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, which? Because like you learned so many different names, and I was like, wait a minute, which person was she? And when she said that, I was like, oh my God, I didn't even make the connection.
My bin D that I love so much that I was like living in when I was there. Because I have never been in a $3 million house that never turns on the fucking heater.
Oh, wow.
Never turned on the heater in that house. I was freezing from the moment. Oh, you're not allowed to touch it. If you touch it, an alarm goes off to every staff person's phone.
What?
That's crazy. It might also be one of those alarm, or not alarm ones, you can control it with your phone, so it probably sends out like an alert. So it's not so much like a
But they're
alert
told
that's
they're not
chained
allowed
onto
to
it
turn
or
the heat
something.
on. It's winter.
Tells you if it's touched.
Do they charge toilet paper by the square? I have to know.
Yeah, I was in the garage when I was sick, and I was being an asshole, and I was very cocky, and I am sorry for that ahead of time.
You're sick. That's not your. That's okay.
You don't
Don't
need
apologize
to.
for that at all.
Anyone that's ever detoxed knows what it's like, and trust me, you don't owe any apologies.
No,
You owe nothing.
Yeah,
You owe
really.
nothing.
It's all good now. Like, I'm on the other side of it, so it's all good now.
you look amazing, and I'm so glad to hear you're doing better. And I just
Hey, Grandma.
your smile is so bright. It really is, and I wish you all the
Hey, Grandma.
success. And you, gosh, you deserve a happy and healthy life. You deserve the sobriety. You deserve to come to the person you've always been, to find out what life is like on the other side, finding things that truly make you happy. That make you so happy, not just like a substance, because you have that fake happiness, but that real happiness. You deserve it, and you can tell that it's really.
It's been so long. That's the crazy thing, is that it's almost like its own high being sober. Does that make sense?
No,
So long.
I haven't drank in for like 5 years, and I understand. You get to a point where you really like, oh, this is the person I am. And like, you start to like yourself, and you're not embarrassed the next day. And it's just, there's so much of you. You're like, this is the person I ran from. I like this person. And you can tell that's what you're really coming into. I think it's amazing.
Yeah. I'm really starting to like be more sure of myself, and to be like, like, I don't take any shit, and like, I'm more assertive, and I'm less of a pushover and less of a people pleaser, because like, I always felt guilty for, doing substances and hiding it and this and that I always like overcompensated by being a people pleaser and this, that, and the other. And so it's like, I'm glad that I'm able to not do that. But like I said, I love Graceland. I really think they're doing great things there. I do. I just, like I said, it just wasn't for me. Maybe down the road when I'm more stable in my mental health, maybe it'd be a fun experience. But where I was mentally, I wasn't heading anywhere but bad. And actually, I saw somebody said something about Madison. She was there when I was really sick, and she was rubbing my back, and she was telling me I could do it. And she was really actually very supportive. I know you guys are not her biggest fan, she was like rubbing my back, and she was like, you can do this, you know, the work is almost over. Like, she was actually very supportive, and I know how everybody feels about this, that, or the other, but I was only at Graceland for a week. I was there a week before Nick got there.
Yep.
But they are really
though.
Thanks again for stopping in. We really appreciate
I'll be
it.
right back. My phone's going to
I
die.
love you.
It's so nice to hear from you and to just see the wonderful, confident person you are coming into your own. And I can't wait to hear more about it.
Well, the thing about the heat thing is that you have to ask, like, you have to bring it up at dinner time. And by the time dinner time came around, it was so beautiful outside that it didn't need to be turned on.
Right.
So it would be like during the day, and then like you'd forget by the time you wanted to ask somebody that would, like, you know, California weather is beautiful. Like, we have a place in Lone Pine, California. We never turn the air on there, and it has one of those mini split things, and it's like super cheap to run, and we never turn the AC on there. So that's kind of like.
But the
Plus, when the sun
California
goes
cold, when
worse in
the California
California.
cold hits a little different.
As the sun goes down in California, though, because I live in Arizona, it gets warmer because the heat releases from the pavement, and like you forget, like you're saying, I forget, and then all of a sudden it's like it gets warmer, and then it's so cold. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like a bone chill cold because we are so close to the coast that you get that wind off the coast, you know? And I'm used to dry heat where it's like, you know, dry heat. Like, it's different. So I like lived in this freaking thing, which I live in it anyways. It's my favorite jacket. And I have like a Patagonia in there and all kinds of stuff. And I still wear the $80 Ben Davis. It's silly. But thank you so much, guys.
It's nice seeing you. I'm so glad to hear from you, and I'm proud of you. As a lot of people are here. We may have never met you, but we have been cheering for your sobriety.
I love it. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night.
Thanks so much.
I'll be right back.
Good night, Ray.
Good night, guys.
I'm glad she's doing better. I'm glad she's doing a lot better.
Yeah, she looks amazing.
Oh, looks like we lost a couple people there.
Blue will be back. There he goes.
There you go. I was hoping to touch on what we were talking about before about the S word.
Can
There
we
was some-
hold on? I don't want. Do you want to talk about that? Like, make it into it, or can we just kind of off grid it?
Well, I saw that there was some disagreement, so I was hoping to provide some context. But if you want to move past it, that's.
Well, I just didn't know if we're going to have a Discord about it. That's all. I mean, I don't. My vote is no, but listen, it's not like I'm going to cop a resentment if we do have a conversation about it. It's just my 2 cents.
But she can explain like what the girl meant, because I don't I've never heard
that.
it before. Like, that's the first I've ever heard it being tied to that.
Yeah, so think, for example, in the Pocahontas movie, they have that song where they're chanting it. If you listen to the lyrics, it actually goes quite dark. And it's a term that's been used initially for the initial colonization aspect. But it then has continued on, and it has been a tool used to continuously disenfranchise Indigenous peoples through things such as the 60 Scoop, which was when policies were put out to take children from their families, take them from Indigenous communities into foster care system, to eventually be adopted by white families. And so the policies that were enacted on the basis of the idea that they are of that term, and therefore unable to take care of themselves. So it's a very sensitive word for a lot of Indigenous peoples because of the way it's been used against them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like my baby dad's here and he's Indigenous and he's never heard of it before being used in a negative way, like towards him.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard it either, and I used to roll with the Red Road Path, so I never kind of even associated that word with that, and I've never heard any of my Red Road people ever say that. either.
I had,
So it's
I will
interesting.
say, I was informed of that when I was living on a Navajo res. And that was the first time I had heard of it. I will say I do slip up with that one from time to time because it didn't cross my mind. But it is something more aware, and that's what this discussion is, right? It's just awareness, and people can take it and hopefully do more research and digest what's being talked and spoken of. And,
I think taking a look at the lyrics of that song from the Disney movie is going to provide a lot of context as well.
Yeah, I'm called it all the time, so I've never thought anything different of it. I just took it as is.
Yeah, I think Alberta is. Yeah, I've seen it firsthand in Alberta. One of my best friends is Indigenous and has been antagonized in that way. So it may also be somewhat regional, but
yeah, and see, he's from a reserve out here, and he's never heard it like that. It was ever a problem using that word. So I don't really know. It's new to me, but it's always good to learn.
And it's something that comes with part of the process that they go through when they're deconstructing that kind of trauma. Maybe something that might be on a different spot in someone's path than everyone might be on.
Yeah, so like what about the singers and all that have that word in their name?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that that's obviously not.
Well, it's kind of it's kind of thought of the same as like that football team. It's kind of like in the same light. Because essentially that word in the past has been used to justify their shmemishide. And it's not even something that's just historical. It's something that continues to disenfranchise them today. It's something that also, maybe not everyone has experienced if they are immersed within their own community. It may be something that, if you were to go to, for example, Alberta, you might have different experiences.
Yeah. I was just going to say really quick, because I'm also in Alberta. I've been mistaken countless times for being Native American. I'm only like 0.6%, but I look Native, I guess. And I've definitely just like seen the type of discrimination that happens, especially here. I think it might be like an Alberta thing, especially now, because I've learned even in school that that word isn't something that you should use because of what happened in residential schools and all that. So if you want to learn the history of residential schools, I mean, it's fucking terrible, but it's definitely important to learn if you care about Canada's history. But like everyone in the chat being like, what about Freddie Savage? And it's like, no, that's obviously not what we're talking about. It's like going out of your way to call someone that. But then again, everyone has their own opinion. Like, I'm around Native people all the time as well. There's a lot of Native people in Alberta. I mean, I don't use that word on the regular, so I don't know how my like closest friends feel about it, but yeah, it's just like we're not saying completely erase that from your vocabulary. I think like Wilted and the people in the chat just wanted to educate people on like why there were some people in the chat that got maybe a little upset or something,
There's a weight that it carries of essentially, of intent to not just take out a whole person, but to take out a whole person's family and culture. It's rooted in such such horrible hatred that's happened that it carries with it a lot of meaning, whether it's how you intended to use it or not. It's also something that can be triggering for Indigenous people to hear and can make them feel unsafe in a space. So I wouldn't want anyone to think that, we have any. I falter on my stance there. And what was that honeypot person? Honey girl. It does have to do with residential schools. If you remember why they were put in the residential schools, they were put in the residential schools because they were presumed to be of less civilized, of less capability by their inherent nature, which is the definition of that word.
Okay, so we all have been informed.
How about Rachel?
I can leave it at that.
We can all celebrate Rachel's win tonight.
Thank you for educating us, Wilted.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, who else do we have in the chat now? Do we still have some Graceland contingency in here? We had some special guests tonight. We had Chris
I think they're
Hearn,
gone.
Madison's boyfriend. We had Madison herself in here. We had Jose. Any of those folks still in?
No, Madison's
No.
gone.
Au
Chris
revoir.
is gone.
Au revoir.
Well, it's been a fun night. Fun.
I didn't expect that, but
I thought we were just going to talk about Red Note and
Mason's
bullshit,
out,
and then we got
and,
Masons out. They don't turn the heat on in
and
the
there's
fucking
they're not allowed
house.
to be forbidden. So
That's crazy.
if you guys were looking for some information or some tea, there you go. No heating and no Mason. Boom.
Yeah, that should be your talking points and the T pages. I mean, you guys, you got it tonight, I guess.
Yeah.
$4 grand a month for no heat.
That's insane.
Right?
That's insane.
It's actually
And
insane.
no food for dinner. Like not
And
enough
food bank food.
Food bank food.
Like,
Kind of
That
crazy
gets
is that
portioned
they.
out to the staff too.
Yeah. Well, it just shows the cheapness, right? It's not turning on the heat or the air, controlling the air con to save money on electricity. My assumption. I think I'm right. And then with like the food banks and going to that, and it's like you guys are getting X amount of money each month from those that are paying. I know the argument is there's some on.
Hang on, how many residents are in the house at the moment?
Approximately 20 right now.
Yeah.
You had 1, 2, 3.
But we've just lost, let's say from today, no Tom.
I think they're down to 19, aren't they? 18, 19.
Alex, recently.
Yeah. Let's say 18. It's $72,000 a month.
Yeah.
Well, some of those folks.
Some of them
have
are on
discounts.
scholarships and they're not paying.
I mean,
but still.
collectively, you get the IOP money, right? So
Yeah, Blue,
that
your headphones disconnected again.
God damn, darn it. Sorry.
Yeah. Real quick, I did see some people were asking about just to clear up the conversation we had about the NDAs. So initially when people came into the house, they had them sign consent forms for their likeness so that way they could stream them on their lives, right? And have them in their YouTube videos and have them on social media.
The videos that Graceland create are their property and for them to do what they want with it. Yeah.
Exactly. And then what they did was they came back right before Adina left. I think she said it was 2 days before she left. They sat them down, every resident in the house, and had them all sign NDAs because at that point they should be mentally clear and actually sober. And they made them all sign NDAs because of how crazy shit was getting. And what they're doing now is after they leave the house, anyone that leaves, Graham got it. Adina, we found that out today that they were going to send her a cease and desist.
That's the other thing, yeah.
And they use those NDAs over their head. What's stupid about that is if anyone talks about anything that's not legal, that's against the law, An NDA doesn't cover that. It's not what an NDA is for. So they're using legal action to try to threaten and intimidate the residents and the people that are living in that house in order to stay silent and to make sure they're able to keep doing the stuff that they're already airing out on the internet themselves. It's really gross.
And it's quite clearly a manipulation tactic. Like if you understand what the hierarchy of law is, you would see that this is something someone would do to manipulate someone into silence. They wouldn't write this up knowing that, or not knowing that it wouldn't hold. Because of the hierarchy of law, you cannot contract away a legislative right. And that's pretty basic for anyone who would need to get this drafted and notarized. So I don't believe that they were just ignorant of that fact. I think that's something that was done with intention.
I agree. Oh, and that was someone else point that out. The other thing that Ray she's talked about it before here, but Mason likes to say that he didn't, and he said it in, I can't remember if it was a live or a video, but he said he didn't know that she was coming there and that she relapsed, right? And that she lied to them is what he said. And she talked tonight that he did know. Meg, one of their mods, was apparently on the call with them and called him out for lying. And he came back later and said, I don't know if he said I was wrong, but he acknowledged that they did have a discussion that she wasn't coming back to the house sober. So he knew she had to detox before she got there. His lie was that it was a surprise to them all.
And they also found meds later on her, So but that person that she was talking about was really smart when asked for the advance copy of the paperwork in which she'd be signing, and they wouldn't forward it for them to review. And he said that's a huge red flag, and that individual is absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta eat.
It was interesting, though, hearing that they believe the NDA is airtight. It's not when what's happening in that house is not legal on its own.
Well, you heard it here, guys. Mason is out. Out you go.
Yeah, AJ, anything is in speculation. We don't know if Mason quit. We don't know if he got fired. We don't know if he got asked to leave. We don't know if he's still living in the grad house, just no longer a staff member.
No longer
That's something we're going to find out in the upcoming days, I'm sure.
Employed at Graceland. Yeah.
I will say, though, we did warn Pat when Nick got there that he has the hair that's touch. It's just a shit touch. It's not gold. And everything he says or does falls apart within a month or two. Pat was warned. And within this month of Nick being there, shit got crazy. I'm not blaming just Nick. Pat is definitely culpable. But I'm just saying, he was warned. Your shit is going to come to light and fall apart.
And now we have to think of the more serious, like a real serious note here. Where will Nick get his new shoes from now on? Like
Uncle Mason.
No Uncle Mason.
Oh, yeah. I just had
Uncle
a terrible
Mason's
thought.
out.
I just had a terrible thought of why he's gone.
What does Nick do with all his shoes? The amount of shoes he's bought in just the last 3 months, and then just had the goddamn
kind of like his
with him coming to
clothes as well.
California.
He'd get new clothes, right? And he'd wear them to death, and then you never see them again. They just disappear. It's like, because he can't do washing, he just keeps buying new clothes.
It's because Mariah did all the washing.
Yeah, I know. But even back when he was with Mariah, like, he would buy new clothes, he would wear them, and then they'd just disappear.
The greatest plot twist would be that Mason and Nick left together on a lover's quarrel, and they're in a motel getting the phones ready.
Please let Nick do a runner.
Streaming.
Please.
They're about to stream right now.
Does that mean we have to stay live like all night now just to
If
catch
I'm
it?
telling you right now, at any hour that fucking happens, the live will be struck up, whether it be
You
3,
better
4.
let us know, guys.
My intuition will pop me up in the middle of the night. If he gets on at 2:30 in the morning for me, I will be awake and ready. I will feel it in my bones.
Well, don't forget.
And Tribe, she's not kidding around at all.
Well, I'll
Like,
still be awake because it's Australian
I don't know
time.
how you do it. I don't know how you do it, Britt. Like you have
I
this
think you guys are
internal
my soul
alarm system.
sisters, so I just have really bad dreams and wake up. And
I think you've
aware that
missed your
I need to hop
shift.
on a call
Well,
with
you did
guys.
miss your shift. It was just not at. Where did you think it was?
I was
Wendy?
late one time, but the other times I woke up like right. You guys were like, "Where's Britt?" Britt literally
Yeah.
just woke up a minute ago and is here. It's amazing.
Suppose if we wake up and there's new tweet uploaded starring Nick and Mason, I'm going to I will do a 24-hour live just on that topic alone.
Timu, Ron Jeremy. Ugh.
Oh, I can't. I can't. New shoes for everybody.
Wow, they've had a pretty extensive last 6 weeks, huh? It's been a
I
rough
will
one.
say, Smoes in the chat said, "What if they were trying to demote him to resident?"
But why would they? I mean, you're talking about if there was a.
No, they
Smoes
went
said, "What
to
if they pulled the
resident."
blue and sent him back to residential living?" And we tried to. Look, we can have all the theories, and I guess we just have to wait to
I feel
find
like
out.
they'd only do that to Blue, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, it's just all
You did say
conjecture
that,
at this
Tara.
point.
That's right.
My thing is now, how long? Because we know, Mason loves going live. We know that he has that addiction thing in him with the battling and all that. So my question is, how long before Mason strikes up his own live?
Probably
AJ,
soon, so he can
promise
cuss
you
us
we're
out.
not missing, AJ, we're not missing that at all. We already knew that. We've known that for some time. So for us, that wasn't new information, but it is a good point. But we definitely didn't miss that.
Yeah, we've talked to Ray quite a bit before.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
you
so
know, it's a matter of time before.
Yeah, we've talked about a lot about the detoxing in that house. We just haven't touched on it yet tonight, but we've gone on for quite a long time about that because it is a big point of contention about how they claim to be a sober living house, yet they are allowing medical detoxes to happen in their goddamn garage.
Look, Matthew, I mean, the list goes on, right? It's not one person that's done this, and they've had people having to, get ambulanced out of there because of it.
AJ, it's not just physical evidence. AJ, Graceland posted the video of her.
Yeah.
That's the evidence right there. Along with the other people that they've posted in their house.
They gave her a phone so she could TikTok live stream whilst this is going on, and she's got a vomit bucket and she's on a couch. Like, they gave her the phone so she could communicate with chat whilst this is going on.
Chips time.
What kind of chips are they, though?
What kind of chips are they, though?
More importantly, what kind of dip?
Sour cream and onion ruffles.
Oh,
those are good.
And a golden Cadbury bar.
Nope.
Blue, nothing is going in the fucking freezer, okay? It's going directly from the wrapper to the mouth. That's
right.
where it's going.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait,
Did you
what?
find that between your mattress and box spring? And you were like,
you
oh, there
worry.
it is.
Blue? Are
What
you
chocolate bar
don't
was
worry
it?
about where fatties hide what, okay? It's in reach. It's in reach.
For those of you who don't know, T literally hides chocolate in her bed. So
There's no
clear.
cash in the mattress. It's just boxes upon boxes of chocolate.
And I'll be more madder if they break in and steal my chocolate bars than my money, okay? I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing right now? Hands up. Hands up.
I'm in solidarity with you. I'm pulling out the chips as well.
You know, I'm getting hungry.
Are those the fried chicken ones?
No, I haven't touched the pork belly ones yet. Like, since
I've
I tried
had
them
one
today.
meal in 3 days. I've had one meal, which was yesterday. I didn't eat the day before. I ate one meal yesterday, and I haven't eaten today, and I'm choosing chips.
The Ozempic.
It's that fucking Ozempic.
The Ozempic is Ozempicing.
Yeah, and sorry, AJ, it's not. Sorry, it's just we've talked about this a lot, and it's not that we're not ignoring you two. And you're not accusing us of doing that, but we've talked about, because Ray's come in here before and we've talked about the evidence and the proof she has that Mason knew. This is, sorry, it's not that we don't want to go into it. It's just we're not covering all those details because it is something we've talked about a lot. I just want to be clear there.
And somewhere, AJ, on the TikTok, there is a video of me and Mason having the conversation about Rachel. I can't point you in the right direction.
I think it's on Nancy's page. I think.
And that is Nancy TikTok Grace is her handle. And that's where you'll find volumes of information.
Are you all eating right now?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds that way.
Maybe.
Wait, can you hear me eating?
Yes,
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
I'm eating.
Do people eat chips with dip outside of parties?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
What kind of lame ass parties are you going to that's just chips and dip? Blue, that's like a regular thing.
Well, what
No,
if
just
you're
that's the
craving
only-
chips and dip? Do you wait till you go to a party?
Honestly, I've never had dip outside of like some sort of party atmosphere.
What about
But
guacamole?
listen, you're talking a delightful world that I embrace, the guacamole and the salsa.
Oh, TikTok Criminals has that video pinned.
I love guacamole.
Yo, what's up, Crim Cross? Good to see you.
Did you just call him crisscross?
No, Crim Cross. I'm a big fan of Crim Cross. You know
I
why?
heard cream cross.
Because Crim Cross stands up in other chats and asks really strong questions. That I
100 J
respect.
Boo. I agree, J Boo. 100.
Would you say, Blue, that they stand 10 toes down?
10 toes down. And I used that today or the other day, my 10 toes down.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, coming out hardcore. Tired of being weak in this TikTok world.
Mason left, not Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew, from what we know, is still there. So what we're aware of is that Mason is no longer staff. Tom left.
Did anyone
Tom
else
was the older
also
fella.
know that Maggie was a consultant for them?
I did not
No.
know.
That was new
I picked that up
info.
as well.
Okay, who the fuck even is Maggie? I don't even know.
She's one of the mods.
Oh, okay.
One of their biggest gifters and one of their mods.
Yeah, I don't-
She was on the call when Adina called back after leaving. It was Maggie and Claire trying to kind of a little bit more aggressively persuade her to come back to Graceland. It was quite inappropriate for a fucking consultant. That was mean. Sorry. That was mean. I could have worded that better. Maybe.
So that's why Maggie rides so hard.
She
That's
does
why-
ride hard.
Yeah, because
But-
she's like really hot rides, like rides for Graceland. So it's not just that she's their mod. There's a lot more behind that.
Yeah. I mean, big ups for her at least trying to have accountability for Mason's actions. right?
And
Like,
also,
that's-
I give her big ups for also supporting Ray and finding the hospital for her to go to once they cross state lines.
Yeah.
And making sure she's able to get there safely. Even if she did try to encourage her to stay, I do give her props for letting her go and making sure she had somewhere to go safely.
Yeah.
My other question is, consultant for what? Like, what type of consultant?
Well, it's
It
interesting
sounds
with
like
her
business.
putting.
Sounds like a business consultant.
I don't know well, maybe business, because it's odd though with her with the NDAs and her saying that she drafted them.
Business.
They don't sound
Would
like
the
they
business
received
consultant
any
draft the NDA?
consulting.
well,
But
what
no, well, they
happened
would
is
advise a lawyer to.
Yeah.
if you wanted to think shady, right? This is what my brain goes to. She's very involved in their Discord, yeah? And in that Discord, you have a lot of people that are reaching out looking for information on Graceland. So if she's acting as a consultant, it would be in her best interest to develop those people into potential residents. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm not
It
saying
seems
that's
like
what's
it.
happening, but I'm saying that's one way that you could use your services as a quote unquote consultant.
Yep.
right? And I'm sure they do the right thing and don't pay a referral fee.
Look, I will say I don't think that she is a social media consultant because we've seen how they've handled that. So I think we could maybe write that one off the list.
Suppose I can draft an NDA.
Anyone can
Right?
draft it. It's just I found the language interesting about it being airtight. That's all. Like, and the legalities that go into that. But maybe, again, that could have just been miswording since that's coming from a third party. That maybe she did have a lawyer that she spoke to get it drafted as airtight as they say it is.
No,
not Mego in here. Meggie, who is a mod in the Graceland Live.
I don't think
And
NDAs hold a
in
lot
the
of
box
weight.
and stuff. Like you'll often see her and Claire Bear in the box.
Let me draft an NDA. Like, these motherfuckers here don't want.
Oh, we know you would do it, and you do it well by this point.
I'll sign one.
All right, what do they think that NDA? I mean, are they so? If they were like Cole, at any point in time during your stay at Graceland, did either any of the staff or residents handle your medication? And as soon as he say yes, right? Is he breaking the NDA? Right? Like those NDAs aren't going to hold water.
Well, I'd assume that their NDA basically would say now you can't talk about your experience at all outside of Graceland. You're not meant to talk about anything.
Mm-hmm. And that's why, though, like with the cease and desist, there's no way for them to send it because what Adina mentioned was the medication. How are you going to cease and desist her for that? It's not going to hold up at all.
She did in another live, though. She was asked a very specific question and she answered it.
Their worst fear would be to have multiple residents with signed affidavits or depositions under their belts. It's their worst fear.
Oh, I do.
Like what?
Yeah, AJ, so, sorry, last time I'm repeating because I know we also have a lot of new people. They had them sign the NDAs, not when they first got in the house. The NDAs are new. So it first started with Nick because Nick likes to pop off. I think it was probably pointed out to them that Nick wasn't sober when he comes in and he wasn't mentally healthy. So what they did was a few weeks ago, it was weeks after Nick had gotten there, and it was 2 days before Adina left, to give you the timeline. 2 days. They had them all sign, and what Adina said specifically, it's recorded and clipped already, so, is that they had them sign it because they should be sober and more mentally clear than when they arrived, because they knew it wouldn't stand up. But I don't think that's...
Is that under duress,
they knew they weren't doing it. So they decided to try to cover their asses later.
Under duress,
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's something for everyone to be aware of, right? Because I saw people writing that when they found out Nick had to sign NDA. And people were right? Like he was under the influence, it negates the legality of it, and they're correct. But what happened was that gave Graceland information to then use and pivot to rectify their weak spot. And so I'm cautious about if something pops up for me, right, during a conversation or something like Rachel or something like that, it's just something to consider. Like what you put in the chat, they're reading it. They're reading it. And if you think it might help them.
It's same with Jose's name. You say that 3 times, maybe even twice. He's here like a fucking dirty bag. Like he is here. He's listening. Always listening, Wazowski. Always watching.
Guys, on a positive note, just in case anyone cared, I've now logged off work. Finally.
Whoop, it's time.
Oh.
It's free. No more moving my mouse.
Hey, Erika.
Hey, Erika.
Howdy.
Well, that was like the most juiciest bit of info we've had since they fucking went off live.
Everyone's been craving. It's like they just got the big, like
we just weren't even ready for it. When she just started speaking, I was like, what?
I knew it as soon as it happened too. I was like, oh, here we go.
I know.
And I just want
to. I almost missed it.
I was itching for some tea.
Well, you guys got it.
I'm like, finally, something.
Guys, I'm sure if you missed what happened tonight, I'm pretty sure Nancy's already posted it and other pages will have posted it. So
pretty much Mason is no longer employed by Graceland. We don't know why, but he is no longer there.
No idea why. Just none.
He could have won the lottery for all we know.
He could be on a cross-country excursion with Nick, for all we know.
He could have dedicated his life savings to crossing the world in a ferry. Or in a, what is it? What are those things called? Not the yacht.
Barges?
Cruise. On a cruise.
He could have dedicated his life to buying more shoes for Nick.
Maybe.
Finding the freshest kicks.
For making new shoes for Nick. Those are specialty sizes.
He could have started his own X account, and he's going to take it from there.
Can we not? I don't know why you keep trying to point the...
Because I know what I want. I need something to fucking happen.
I know, but I don't want to look at anyone's ex.
You don't need to look at it, says, you dirty bugger. We just tell you about it. You doesn't mean you have to go look at it.
And what if I am Doug parried
If
it?
I know it's there, I have to, for research purposes, because we're reporters now, I have to go and look, don't I?
Well, not really. I mean, if we tell you that Mason got his dong out, his research is not going to... We don't want to know about it.
And there we go. And this
But I
is
have
when
to
the night
confirm
took a
that
turn.
Wait. Hi, everybody. You guys are making...
Hi, Erika.
I'm crying
Hey,
over here
Erika.
because I am so... Hello. I am so not involved anymore. So it's so incredible. It's been... I don't even know how long. But it's, what, like a month, 2 months? 2 months it's got to be. I don't even know. Who cares? But to hear that, it's funny because I had come across, like, I guess I was just on my For You page, and it seemed like he was, like, just raging with just anger. And I was like, whoa, who are you? What's going on? And I just kept going. But I'm shocked. And what's his face is back, right?
Who?
Oh,
yeah.
Is he back? Is he streaming?
No,
we haven't seen him.
They're gone down silent for a week now. But they've been posting a video here and there, but nothing on going live yet.
Wait, TikTok criminal crossovers. Someone told us they went live on Learning to Lose. Did you catch that by any chance? Or Crim Cross, as Blue calls you. Sorry.
Learning to Lose went live today for a short amount of period of time, and it wasn't any of the regulars. I know that. So, anybody have any info on it?
Yeah, did anyone see Learning to Lose live today? Like, what did you say, around 4?
Around 4:15, I think, Eastern time. Let me double.
No one has seen this at all.
Blue, I feel like you
Stand
got
by.
trolled. I think you got lied to.
No, I have when someone sends
Yes,
that,
the live.
sends you the live, and then when it's done, you can still see what it was.
Ah.
And the person that sent it to me is reputable. So
Okay. Let me stop stirring the pot. My bad. I just like to shit stir sometimes.
Right? It's just that, like, Blue's the only one that has said this, and everybody else is like, huh?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I just brought my own tea.
I feel like a lot of people forget about the Learning to Lose account because they really haven't used it much. So it's not as much on
And it's
people's
usually
radar.
the fucking dirtbag Wyatt on there, so nobody wants to
Or
fucking
John.
dirty face.
Or, you know who else goes on it? That guy that works
John.
at, no, the other guy. I can't remember
British
his name.
guy?
The musical one who works for Ridge Productions but was never a resident. Young guy. He's like quite talented musically.
Yeah, he's the black dude. That guy. He's kind of not. I'm not gonna say heavy set, but he's not like John. Looks to be a lot more.
Oh, Milo?
But
No, it's
That's
not
exactly
Milo.
who it is.
He's a. Do you know who it is, Erika?
Damn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Milo.
No, not Sam. Sam's the older English guy.
John. Yeah, he's the one who does the meditation.
No, it's not John.
I'm just getting
he works
names
for
from the
Ridge.
chat. I'm sorry. I'm just throwing everything at the
He
wall.
works for Ridge Productions, but he's never been a resident. He only works
Correct.
for Ridge.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
So
Milo.
that's
no,
John.
Milo's a
Milo's
resident.
Yeah, Milo's a resident.
You
Yeah.
guys,
Milo's
that's
hilarious.
John.
No, John's a tall feller.
Yeah.
He just got back from Europe.
Yeah.
This guy works for Ridge
Who knows
Productions.
who I'm talking about? But I
He's
don't
known
know.
Patrick for a long, long time.
I
Who's the
don't know.
rapper guy?
That's him.
Yeah.
He's the
rapper
one
guy.
who made the song. He made the song with the what do you call it? What the hell is it called? The face mask hat. What's that called? Why can't I think of it? Yeah, it was great. He was the one who did that.
Ah, okay, I'm with it.
Can't think of his name right now.
I don't know if he was
And
at
I was
the tea party, but maybe.
and I was a mod on everything for almost 8 months, and I can't remember his name. That's how much I care.
Erika, we're here to get the tea out of you, and you're not serving.
Well, maybe they're on
What
Ridge
you need?
Productions' website.
No!
Someone go to Ridge Productions. Can someone go to Ridge
do you wanna
Productions'
know?
website? You'll see Tim on there. You'll see Tim on there, I'm sure, and then the other guy,
No,
And
not
maybe-
Sam, the English guy.
the guy who just saved his beard and was cooking
No,
that's Sam, the guy that was
like-
cooking with Nate or whatever his name is. Nick.
Yes, when he was making rice, that he, his big meal prep.
Yeah.
And I really like.
Can we just talk about that for a moment? The difference in that live versus the video they posted.
Yeah.
They should thank the gods for that edit.
Why does he have to pucker like that with the lip?
It's just
It's a
it's like a
compulsion.
nervous
Scares the
twitch. It's one of his, I think it's a stim, to be honest. It's like the flexing. I
Is
think
it?
it's a
Or-
stim. Like when he's,
Oh,
I think these are all like calming.
Homeboy
never
is
thought
like
about that way. That
5
makes
feet
more
tall.
sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
People have little quirks that they do. That's him.
I mean, I was just curious. Like, I wasn't like, whatever. I have my own thoughts about that whole situation, but I'm sure that there's what I call window lickers in here, that are watching from the FYP.
Looky loos.
Oh, always.
Yeah. Window lickers, looky-loos, whatever you want to call them. And I don't need the bullshit because I'm done with it. But if you want to ask me questions, go right ahead. If I can answer it, I will.
Chat.
The puckered lips are very upsetting.
No, they froze.
Yeah, it's not attractive.
Yeah, Chad, do you
Really
have any
not a pretty
questions?
sight.
For background,
be
Erika
helpful?
was a mod for Graceland and Patrick Ridge's TikTok accounts and a mod in the Discord as well?
No. TikTok, I was the main Discord. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
for
Discord mod. So if you got any questions, Erika's willing to answer.
No, Discord. TikTok,
Just
YouTube.
Discord, TikTok, YouTube. Would
It
you
was not an
mind-
easy task.
Did you leave on your own volition, or was there, or were you let go?
Oh, I went off
right?
on them.
What happened?
Let go. I didn't work for them.
I'm trying to put it, Erika. I'm trying to put it. You know what I mean?
They,
Like,
no, I'm being fun. I'm just trying. I'm sorry.
no,
I
it's
wasn't
good.
an
We need to laugh right
employee.
now.
Nate.
Yeah, and so do I.
Thank
so
you, Nancy. Nate. Yes.
no one
Nancy.
is
Go ahead, Erika.
okay. I'll wait. It's okay. Thank you. Everybody makes fun of my accent because I live in California. I don't even realize I have it until I get mad or like really passionate like I am right now.
I love passion.
So what happened was, let's just say Miss Meggie, she's such a love. She's
Erika, I've got a question actually in regards to Meggie.
Sure.
Someone told us just before that she's a consultant for Pat. Is that true?
Nobody has a title. That's true. As far as people that are not in the house or people that are not in the graduate house. It has like outsiders like myself, Maggie, Claire. Nobody has a title. It's just we ended up doing what we were doing. And it's just, that's how it occurred. But when it comes to her She was there for about, I'd say, about 2 months, and just took over like she owned the joint. And I held and bit my tongue, and I am from New Jersey and from the Bronx. And I live in California. So I'm trying to hold, be myself and try not to go off on her, but it just didn't work. She did help with a lot of things, and I helped her according to her, which was fantastic. But it got to the point where this girl decides to first of all, they grouped me. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
Yeah, but can you explain it to the people that don't know what a group is?
Sure. Grouping is basically, I'm just going to put it in layman's terms. It's basically you getting ganged up on about something and you have no idea it's coming.
And who's involved when they group you?
For me, it was on every platform. It is recorded on YouTube. I don't know which video it is, but you can go listen to them and you'll hear. I don't know which one it is because I could give two shits. But anyway, basically grouping is like the person that is being grouped, like myself. It feels like you're just being completely attacked. So you go to defend yourself because you know that what those people are saying is completely and utterly incorrect because they heard it from somebody else who's an addict, who I tried to help, and Maggie stepped in and then she took over and did everything because I got sick.
When you're
when you're
grouped, who's grouping you though? Is it just Patrick or
it depends?
Is it
Usually
Madison?
it's not. No, usually it's not Patrick, but we happen to have been on, I believe we were in the Discord meeting. That's what it was. And he was streaming on everything. And they grouped me on there. So on the Discord, if anybody doesn't know what Discord looks like, if you're in a meeting, you go into a room, and if you want to speak, you have to click something to raise your hand. So I wasn't going to talk. I was at the hospital with a friend, and I'm like, I'm not saying anything. I'm in here every day. So all of a sudden it happened, and it was Mason on another platform, which I believe, I'm not sure, it might have been on the Discord, whatever. It was Mason. Then all of a sudden Maggie appears for what ungodly reason, I have no idea. And then it was Pat originally. So it was Pat, Mason, and Maggie. And they asked me to come up. I had no idea what they were I don't know what they want, so I went up. Long story short, they start blaming me that somebody told them that I'm using, because I'm 22 years clean. And they said that I'm taking my pill. What? First of all, I take Lexapro? Like, really? I take Xanax. I'm a nurse. It's not a long-term drug.
Can we just use a little bit of
Yes, I'm sorry.
Ambiguous terms, please?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Erika.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I apologize. So this was a known thing because I would speak to 30 people every single day on Discord, and every new person that came in got the same spiel, which it wasn't really a spiel. It was just me being me and explaining how it worked and no cross-talking, things like that. So at the time that they grouped me, I was basically being blamed and accused of doing something that had, one, nothing to do with them, two, wasn't even occurring in my life, and three, was absolutely unnecessary without my consent as a 52-year-old woman who's helping 30 people off a ledge every day to be without consent for it to be recorded and kept out in the public. And I immediately got yelled at by Pat. Mason couldn't even say anything at first. It was like the cat got his tongue because he was like, Pat kept saying, her, like, are you there? Are you there? Because he was like nervous to say it because he knew who I was. And I went off on them. Because I went off and defended myself, that meant that I was doing whatever they were accusing me of on their end. So I told them that they were fucking crazy, and I hung up.
Wow.
And then Maggie contacted me and looked me up. She must have done like paid for like a background check, and told me I'm not a nurse. I'm not selling my house. I took my house off the market. Do you really need to know that? And you're looking to find out if I'm really a nurse? Well, apparently you didn't look deep enough. So you can go, you know where. And I lost it on her too. So in answer to your question, as far as being a consultant, I really don't know what's transpired since I've been gone, but she found lots of lawsuits. She found out that Learning to Lose wasn't registered for 3 years. She found out things that they should have taken care of, that they need people to do. They just don't remember. I mean, I don't know. So she thinks she's like, queen of the world over there. So I don't know. She might have probably made that up because nobody has a title.
When you run into somebody on the Discord that is if they're considering trying to get some sort of assistance in recovery, are you instructed in any way to like walk them through or get them in contact with anybody over Graceland or anything like that?
No, there are no directions. I just ended up doing it. There was nothing. At one point, I had gotten into an argument with Pat because he was never in there and he didn't know these people. And it's his dream that he built. If it's your place, you need to be there and show your face sometimes. It's like, it's not just me. And it was just me for a really long time. And we built a family out of it. And then we got into an argument. And then he just started showing up. So that's what it takes, is to scream at this guy to make him listen. So you're not instructed to do anything. I just did it. And I don't regret doing it because it was really cathartic. It really was. Sometimes it consumed me, and I told myself that I would never let that happen. And it did. I'm not going to lie. Because I became so close to certain people. And those people have my phone number, so I'm not even on Discord in any way, shape, or form. And I blocked every single person. I don't want anything to do with it. I think it's really in poor taste, some of the things that go on.
Can you give an example of something, in your opinion?
You don't need to be in somebody's face with a camera on a public platform when they're going, through detox. What's the matter with you? Like, who does that? And I don't care if the person says it's okay or not. It's not okay. You don't do that. Sober living and a rehab are completely different. And he acts a fool, and the whole house is just in complete disarray, and everything is just, nothing's organized. It's just mayhem. And that isn't going to make somebody's head have the clarity that they deserve, I feel. And again, this is just my opinion. But I couldn't be around that, even sober.
I hear you. No, but some of those folks that came into the Discord, right? You guys were actually able to really help some of those people because they were quite lost. Isn't that correct?
Oh,
so that's a good. That was a good thing. Yeah?
That's why it was. Yes, it was very, very cathartic, gratifying. Built relationships. Yes, definitely. I mean, we became what we called the wolf pack, and I'm sure you all know about that.
Did you get a tattoo? Did you get a wolf tattoo?
That's the first thing I thought of. Absolutely not. No. I do have a learning to lose sweatshirt, but now I won't walk around in that. I wore it one time, once. There's no chance I'll be walking around with that. And it's not trademarked or registered for Maggie. It's sad because there are people that really did really well, and Discord was their saving grace. And there's one person in particular that sticks out in my mind that she didn't talk very much, but she would talk to me like through chat on Discord. And then sometimes she would just go, radio silent. And then sometimes she would be really talkative. And sometimes it would be talking off the ledge. And the last time that happened, the next day when she decided to go to work finally, she got a promotion the next day. And she was so happy. It's those little things that make such a big change in the way you think. And I think in that house, how do you have clarity? The only clarity I could see is when you're in the bathroom by yourself. Are you by yourself?
You get max 15 minutes in there as well. So you only got 15 minutes to get that clarity.
Stop. Oh, my Lord. I didn't even know that.
Yep.
That is ludicrous.
Yep. So that clarity better come within those 15 minutes.
Wow. I didn't even know that. How long do you get for a shirt? Dude, okay.
That's it. It's max 15. Shit, shower.
Shit, shower, shave?
Whatever you got to do.
You
15.
gotta be kidding me.
Yep. 100%.
15 minutes? Mm-hmm. It takes me 15 minutes before I even get in the shower.
Yeah. Well, there, you better be on your toes. You better be.
Well, I'm going to say this, and no, maybe I shouldn't. I wouldn't send roadkill to stay at that house.
That's true.
Put it that way.
I agree.
And it's really sad to say that because Pat used to think he and I were so much alike. I'm like, dude, I am nothing like you. Nothing. Not even a little, except for the music. Other than that, no. Don't even compare me to you because I'm not like that. But it's tough to watch because, after all the months that I was a part of that, I was really a part of it and knew every move everybody made. And it was just a sick environment, not healthy in any form. It just wasn't, as far as I'm concerned. Remember, this is just my opinion. But I feel bad, the whole, oh, you didn't pick your sock up, 1,000 words. What? If someone said that to me, I would take the sock and fucking throw it at them and leave. If I was back in my active days of using, that would be my attitude. I'm not gonna sit there and write 35,000 words because I left my towel on the floor.
Exactly.
That's just and who counts the numbers? How do you count all the words? I don't even. It just doesn't work for me. I don't get it, and I think it's torture. So I don't understand. I get why people don't want to do. I could see maybe if you were typing it, but who sits there and counts every word?
They do an average. They do average per line. They do an average per line, and then figure it out that way. So 30 lines or 30 words per line, etc., and then how many lines? That's how they do it. So they're not actually reading each thing.
I just don't really think that. I mean, again, my opinion, but I don't think that is going to. Yeah, nobody wants to do that, so you're not going to do something. But you left your shoe untied. 100 words. That's how it seems. Did I breathe correctly? That's how it looks to other people, and that's how it looked to me too. And I don't think that is. I don't know. I just, not that it's not fair. I don't know what word I want to use, but I just don't feel that it's necessary. There can be other forms of, let's call it like grounding or punishment or, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't need to be like that. That's just, I don't know. I think that's too much, over the top, when the rest of the place is just mayhem. But that's your only structure.
Does anybody have any questions for Erika while she's here?
It is accountability.
No one knows why Mason left yet.
Well, I know that he, and this, well, he put it on public, so it's not, he was having some difficulties with his mom, and that was a while ago. That was when I was still around. And he was having difficulties with her, and she was giving him shit because he took it upon himself to get his life together. And it really took a toll on him. I noticed him changing a little bit right before Nick got there. And once Nick was there, I wasn't around anymore. But I saw something, like I just said the other day, just on my FYP, and he was just angry. Like, you could see how mad he was. I don't even remember what he was saying, but he was just like, he was animated. He was really mad. And I had never seen him that way. And I was like, wow. And now you're saying that he left. That's just, I mean, he was, like, he's gone from the house, like, gone.
Apparently, that's what the word on the street is.
We got a question for you, Erika, from Crim Cross. Do you know any of the staff that relapsed?
Do I know any of the staff that what?
Relapsed.
No. Mm-mm.
Do residents mingle?
Well.
And by mingle, is that what you're...
Do you mean, like, can people hook up? Do you mean that?
I don't know. Waiting for a response.
Well, okay, I'll just say it. No.
Mingle's in quotes. Mingle's in quotes, so yeah.
No, not at all. Who got in trouble? Somebody did. Adina, I think. Or, no, I don't know if it was Adina. Somebody got in trouble for it. With Josh. Hanging out with Josh. I don't remember who it was, but no, they can't. Dude, you can't even have an untied shoe. You think that they can mingle?
But it's happened.
It's not.
Though.
No. Yes, it has, and
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then they pay the price for that too.
They sure do.
But it's a co-ed house, so I mean, see what I mean? That shouldn't be. Because you're not supposed to even date anybody for a year. Yes, Allie and Xander.
Some people do believe that, right? And sometimes that's a recommendation. I just want to be clear. Like, certain 12-step programs, right? And I am not a member of any 12-step programs, but I have a lot of familiarity with them. Some of the advice that you will get in those programs is don't have a relationship within your first year.
Yeah,
but
you're not supposed to. And especially not somebody who just is in recovery either. Like for me, I was going to meetings. I did 90 and 90, and then I did 3 times a week, and I did that for a long time. But you're like somebody wanted to like date me, and I was like, no.
Yep. Everyone's got their own journey, right? Like that's
right.
That's what the cool thing is.
Like I had so much clarity that it was like, yeah, that's not happening.
Nick with the Jessica comments, I think that that's a load of shit because anyone that knows Nick knows that he'd be in that room like a dirty socks if there was mingling going on like that. Nick would not be leaving the room. He'd be right in there.
Erika, we have a question. Is there a power imbalance between Madison and Meggie?
I don't even know if the two really talk very much because I think Madison would read her like kind of the way I was able to read her. In the beginning, don't get me wrong, the first 2 months, she was a sweetheart. Just the nicest person. Told me that all the information that I told her, things that we talked about for 5 hours, was more than she ever got in thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours of therapy. And then she goes and blows me up. So, you know, you either accept people for who they are or we don't accept them at all, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah, it really is, especially when you're being accused of something that then you defend yourself because it's not true. And because you're defending yourself, that means it's true. That's how it works over there. And that, to me, is not the way to go about it. I mean, I got clean at 30 and I went back to school and became a nurse. I became a medical assistant. I became a phlebotomist. I just kept going and going. And you find a purpose, you know, no matter how you do it, if you get it done the right way. And you go to therapy and you do what you need to do for you. It's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't see that there.
Hey,
I couldn't even physically work there in the, like...
Hello.
It's tough.
Hey, a little dependent. How have you been? Are you just getting in? It's been a night. It's been quite a night.
Yeah, you've missed out.
So was it told? Is someone snoring?
That's fucking right behind me. You know when you have to let someone sleep over and all they do is saw logs?
They can't. You make me laugh so hard.
The
first...
Like...
I almost snorted.
Oh, wait. See,
all that's happening.
We didn't have a starter
The first night...
It wasn't in the contract. The snoring during my TikToks, it was not in the contract.
That's a game changer, man. I don't know.
Breaking contract, 10,000 words tomorrow for him.
GameStop, just to clear
You
something
snored
up.
out of the
Xander
wrong
isn't
nostril.
Nick's Big Brother anymore because they only have a Big Brother for 2 weeks. So it's not because they don't get along. Just to clear that.
I'm sorry. I was talking. I apologize.
Did you hear, Game, did you get a chance to hear what Says said? Because she's absolutely right.
Nick's sponsor changed, yes.
Yeah. Yes, that is right. We have heard that he had a sponsor for a short period, I believe, and then now he's got a different one. But we don't know why he changed.
He started to allude to it when they were talking about it, and then it got swept under.
Oh my god, this fucking guy.
There was some sort of issue or something, and I'm paraphrasing. I could be way off base because if memory serves me correct, it was during the Rice episode that he was bringing that up.
We don't know why yet, Little. We just know that he's out as of yesterday.
It could be a resignation. It could be a voluntary thing. It could be an involuntary thing.
Was it live, or how did you guys see it?
Ray came in and told us.
Who?
Rachel?
She's the ex-resident from there.
You might not know Rachel. She was in the house for 1 week.
I know Rachel very well.
Yeah,
I was the one who was taking care of everything, and then Maggie stepped in and took care of everything and had to be a one-upper because I got sick. There you go.
Yeah.
Was very close with Rachel.
Yeah,
Very.
she was in here before. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Popped in to say hi, and she was telling us how she was doing. She's doing really, really well. She looks very, very healthy.
That makes my heart so happy.
Yeah. She looks so good. She's glowing.
I had to block her too.
Yeah, she's doing really, really well, and then she just dropped a bomb on us. We didn't ask. It just happened.
Oh, they were both in here together? Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Maggie
No, I
wasn't.
have no, I have not met Nick, no.
Maybe they realized all the money he got on his Cash App and that he didn't tell them the truth. And they're like, yo, what's this receipt about?
And the person that I was talking about when they were putting the camera in front of someone who was detoxing was Rachel.
Yeah.
It pissed me off royally. It was not okay. Even if she said it was okay, it's not.
She wasn't in a state to give that consent anyway.
No. And I absolutely adore her, but I had to block everybody, and I had to block her too. And it pained me to do that. But, Maggie's, had to one-up me, so that's her girl now. It's all good.
Yeah. Guess more will be revealed.
Yeah.
Something really horrible must have happened.
Game, she left before Nick got there, so she doesn't have a lot of insight there.
What have I heard?
Now, somebody was asking you your opinion on Nick, and I had to let them know that you left prior to going there. So,
yes, she is.
Yeah, she runs the house.
Mm-hmm. She is.
Cotton Candy, Erika wasn't a resident at GL. She assisted in the Discord.
Discord, TikTok, YouTube.
Yep.
And she wasn't a paid employee. She didn't have a title.
I got paid 2 times, so I don't want to lie about that. I did get paid twice.
So was there an agreement where you meant to get paid, or was that like a goodwill gesture to pay you?
Apparently it was goodwill, and it was talked about.
Okay.
And then there's somebody else who didn't get paid either, like we were supposed to. But whatever.
When you don't get paid, what are they? And you're expecting payment. What was the reason that you were given that the payment wasn't made to you?
I'll give you money right now.
I'm sorry.
Like, you just. That's
I'm sorry?
That when I brought it up.
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
When I brought it up, the exact thing he said was, "I'll give you money right now," in front of every forum known to man.
Okay.
That's not right either. You have no class. I was in the box, and I had said something, and he came down and pointed to me and goes, "You need money, right? Financially, money?" That's what I'm pointing to me. I was like, holy shit, dude. Wow. Okay.
Hey, Tam.
Does anybody else have any more questions for Erika?
It's weird reliving this after not talking about it for,
Listen, if we don't want to put you in a position where you're feeling uncomfortable, and
I appreciate that. I wouldn't be here if I felt uncomfortable. I appreciate that. I just know that there's people watching who are recording, and they can go right ahead because everything I'm telling is the truth. You want to go find out and look it up?
Oh, you're not wrong there. Hey, Tam. Hey, Erika. Someone wants to know, did you have a positive experience with Madison when you interacted with her?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Good.
Totally. Mm-hmm. Sweetheart. Blue as well.
Blue the resident?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's great. I have a soft spot for that kid.
And he had gone right when I left. They had gone to Vegas first, and then he was visiting with family, and then he came back and started living back with the residents. And I was like, I don't know what's going on there, but I never found out.
Essentially, he got demoted back to the residence house. That's
yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's it in a very high level nutshell.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't. It's not my place to try to find out. But felt bad. But I blocked everybody. So, and I wouldn't ask them anyway because it's. I just wanted to talk about it.
Mago wants to know, does Madison treat all the residents good and fair?
Sometimes I think that she gets she might get passionate like I do, but sometimes she can take it a little too far. But that's just my opinion, and she works there. I do not. But I would say sometimes, but nothing is organized. Nothing is set in a real structured way. So it's like everything's very willy-nilly. So when you're having a meeting and it's a group meeting with everyone, each person has an individual task and thing to say or point to make, and that just doesn't flow. And I think that irritates the shit out of her, to be honest with you, because that would really drive me nuts, because she really is a sweet person. I can't say anything, negative about her. I really don't. I think she's a really good person. Been through a lot, like we all have, in some way, shape, or form.
Well, Eric, I think they asked you everything they asked you. I'm not seeing any more questions for you.
Okay. Well, how are you guys doing?
I'm trying to stop this fucker from snoring behind me right now because he's
I can't. You better write out a contract tonight, and so he wakes up to it.
I keep trying to turn my body so I'm hiding the phone, just in a little corner with my face.
Wait, do you have an iPhone?
No, standard.
Okay, never mind.
Listen, we don't believe in iPhones here. We are Android all the way in this house. Except for my kids. My kids are iPhone fans, I should say.
Hold his nose.
Yeah, I've always had. He said hold his nose.
I'm about to put a pillow over it in a minute. And I keep nudging it, so there's a 2 minute, but there's a 2 second break in between every time I elbow.
Just cough really loud.
God, I'm it's just he may need to stay on the couch for the remainder of the evening. I'm busy.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it. Yeah, so has anyone seen Pat?
No, Pat has been behind.
He went to Turks and Caicos, right?
Yep, he went to Turks and Caicos. He's been back, but they've gone off for a week, just off lives altogether. Then they started posting a few videos since he...
Who is filing their nails, Missy?
I'm not. Did it sound like I was?
Yes.
Shit. No, they started posting some videos. Good night, King. It's gonna happen any second. Then yeah, but they haven't been on. Everybody's been kind of waiting to see what happens next. But now I'm assuming with the Mason stuff, that just threw another.
Yeah. So when did this happen? Yesterday or today?
We just found out today. Apparently, it happened yesterday.
Wow.
So now they're going to be trying to group together to see what story can they put out there about Mason, or are they even going to address it or just ignore it or put a bow on it?
What did you hear? Oh, Mason left and that's it?
Yeah, just that he's no longer employed by them. That was, and no one knew why.
He does have another job too.
Yeah. So I'm assuming they'll have to address it some way, shape, or form, because people are going to be like, "Where's Mason?"
Right. Well, Mason had. We were doing Mondays together at one point. Mental health Mondays, Mason Mondays.
Hang on. Mason hosted a mental health?
I did mental health.
Mason
Mondays. we did it together.
That's interesting.
Oh, that's where he got it from?
Well, I did it on Discord most of the time, but we would do it mostly on Discord. And but he was still streaming on everything else. But yeah. And like Brian is on Thursday, I think, or Tuesday. I don't know. He's gotten a little bit strict.
Well played, Crim Cross. Well played. Well played. All right, Erika, we're gonna see if anybody else wants to pop up as we get closer to the witching hour.
Alrighty. Well, everybody have a great night.
I'm glad that you're doing well. It really, and I know you had to take a break for your own mental acuity. So thankfully, you did the right thing, in my opinion, because you sound great. You sound grounded. So
I also got engaged. So
that's what it is. There it is.
Yeah.
I knew there was a sparkle somewhere. I just figured it's because you weren't with Graceland anymore.
Well, it definitely is that. There's no question. But yeah, I did. So I'm really excited.
Hopefully he's not a snorer.
Oh, he is not.
And hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not Mason. So
I'm not even touching that one there.
Don't. That was just me trying to bring a little bit of
you're
levity
good. You're good. No, you're good.
To a situation. I'm very, very excited for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate
Welcome very
it.
much. We hope to see more of you.
Yeah, I haven't been on recently because I've just been taking care of everyone. But I will definitely be back. I love listening to Evil. Just the first night had me. The first night I ever came. Whose live was it? What's her name's?
Yeah, just leave it at that. Leave it there.
Yeah.
I can't even think of. Oh shit! What happened?
No.
We're not getting into
nothing.
Oh
no. Oh yeah, no. Just long story short, we're all no longer together. We've parted.
Oh
ways.
my god!
Great separation.
Dang, I'm sorry.
If you're looking for,
Shit.
That's all we have.
And
and
alrighty then.
And scene. That was perfect. That was well played. Well played, T. Well played.
On that note, have a wonderful evening.
You too, Erika.
Night, Erika.
Good night, guys. I'll stay in the chat for a couple minutes. Thanks,
All right,
guys.
yeah.
I appreciate
You're always welcome. Thanks for coming up.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you.
So in their video today, they addressed Tom leaving, but not Mason.
Can't hear you. Says.
What?
Can't hear you. Okay. I can't really hear you.
Oh.
I can hear.
Yeah, I think, Blue, it's your headphones.
I'm going back on mute.
Come back, Blue.
Sounds a little muffled. That's all. And I want people to be able to hear you. And if I'm the only one, well, not the first time. I'm the weird apple in the barrel.
Blue, do you feel attacked in here tonight? Do you feel attacked?
No, but I thought it was quite hilarious, though, when I pulled that video out of Nick when Mariah didn't even yell at him. Oh, my God. Just calmly asked him.
When you put that in the chat, that fucking killed me when you said, this is how I feel when you guys gang up on me about the typing.
No, when you tell me I'm typing too loud. There's a scene where Nick is sitting in a bathroom and he just goes off in this tirade about the only thing he asks is people don't yell at him and scream at him. And it's just Mariah just asking him calmly, could you please keep it down because we have neighbors? And he went off on a tirade for about 5 minutes about how his heart was shattered.
And that's Blue with us.
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry, Blue.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, come on, Maverick.
Don't feel sorry.
Someone's got to be on his fucking side.
Right?
Pardon?
Someone has to be there for Blue.
Someone.
We're literally on his side all the time. We just don't want to hear the clicking and the rolling around in bed.
And the stomach growling.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you won't hear any stomach growling with these.
And the
bad boys
haptics,
on.
which I will acknowledge, Blue, that since you've been shown how to turn the haptics off, there has been a minimal haptic interruptions.
Thank you for recognizing
Yes.
my growth.
Yep.
It's more
Yep, there you
fear
go.
induced, just so you know. It's fear induced. It's not like I've like decided to turn over a new leaf. I'm just more fearful of the repercussions and the accusations and the public scorn.
We called you
That's
aggressive
evolution.
Piper like once or twice.
Mego, I thought she'd fallen asleep too, and I was actually going to mute her for her own safety, but no, she's alive.
Nope, I'm still here. I did fall asleep for a bit, but I'm back.
Welcome back. What a night, huh?
Yeah, wild.
It was interesting, at least. At least it was like something to do, something new to spice things up a bit.
Let's give him something to
Hot
talk
tea.
about.
Yeah, this was real tea, huh?
Yeah.
Unsolicited tea, too.
Yeah.
It's
Well, you guys
amazing.
know where to come to get the tea, right?
At the trap house. At the trap house.
At the trap house.
Trap house?
It is the trap house.
Didn't you see what it says when you come in? Welcome to the
I
trap
think
house.
so, Mago. The best kind of tea. It does. It says Teapot's Trap House.
And I'm not trying.
Bad day tomorrow for her. She'll be okay. She'll make it.
It's important for me, selfishly, if everybody just does once again, like I want everybody to look and see like how they operate. Like you get Jose in here, a phone call is made, she leaves, and then you get Chris, Madison's boyfriend, in here, and then Madison in here. So it's just something to be cognizant of because they are always eyes on.
And even the time that Jose, what was funny was Jose, can you remember when what's his name was cooking in the kitchen with the black shirt on, the one that's really never on? He
Paul?
was cooking and Jose, Paul was cooking and he was even telling Jose to get out of the chat, like go find something to do, you're on holidays, like stop. And then Jose was blowing up their phone and he was in trouble for shit he was saying on there and stuff.
And when they were on with Johnny, they shut that shit down.
Yeah.
You can, Smose. And so Jose's just like he's just a rat bag. He's a tattletale. Like, Jose, go do something, man. You're not head honcho.
Well, I'm telling you who hit the nail on the head this evening, and that was Britt. Because Britt, she held his feet to the fire appropriately. We gave an extraordinary amount of grace and respect when he was in here. And the first thing that he did the next day is he went back and twisted the narrative completely upside down. Like, upside down.
No,
and I was
so
disappointed in that. You know, and Britt didn't let him walk free off of that, as we shouldn't.
Oh,
and that's one thing that I can say collectively, right? Not just the panel, but the majority of the people that are in this tribe down here typing. Like, we're pretty goddamn respectful when it comes down to it.
People were listening to you snore. Because they all heard you snore. Apologize
Yeah,
to chat.
Jeremy.
Too
heard you.
He said too bad. I told him to apologize, Chad. He said too bad.
Tiny.